And we are live. NashvilleLou live, back on the air with Warsaken Blitz. Episode number 87. May 6th, 2024. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. I have so much fun playing Warsaken Blitz here live on stream. And this 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern time slot, 18 to 21 UTC, is one that I've had lined up for a while. My show is the kind of show where you can listen at work. I work clean. And we have a lot of fun with it. And it's a good time. And it's a chance to earn loot. And just for watching live and chatting and participating and such. So what I'm going to do now is clear and open the randomizer. Type !join. If you'd like to be my first opponent of the broadcast, you see that Lakeland Oil Grounds Night Vision rank 3 card there on the slate. Well, somebody will win that by the end of today's broadcast here on NashvilleLou Live. All right. !join. Go ahead and type that in chat. If you'd like to be my first opponent of the broadcast. Got CVN Live in there. Hello to Valkyria in there as well. Last call, !join. Be my first opponent of the broadcast. Later this hour, I'll be giving away a foil prime Warsaken card. That'll be toward the end of my hourly break. We'll have that link in chat for you. Okay, let's see. And for the other winners today, I'll have Warsaken Camo, super rare cards for the other winners. But one person will win that epic card. Okay, well, I said last call, so let me go ahead and close the door. Let's give it a spin. One of you two will be my first opponent of the broadcast today here on NashvilleLou Live. Lands on 2. So congratulations, Valkyria. You'll be my first opponent of the broadcast. So if you could please, Valkyria, provide me with a connect code. We'll have this first game started here shortly. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou Live. Remember, you can earn loot by watching official Warsaken streamers like me when we're live here on Twitch. You have your linked Wax wallet. You have to link it one time. So if you've done that already, if you did that some time back, you're still good to go. As far as earning loot just for watching and chatting and participating with the conversation here on NashvilleLou Live with Warsaken Blitz. Got the connect code from Valkyria. Thank you. Good luck, have fun. The way it works for me here on NashvilleLou Live with Warsaken Blitz, I play people one at a time. Try to play a wide variety of opponents as much as possible, but depending on who's available and who's wanting to play, there will be opportunities in all likelihood for people to have second opportunities, if not potentially more. We'll go with a Gold Infinite Holt. That deck to start things off today.
Warsaken.
Whoa, I better hit that mute button. Just testing some things earlier. My primary television. I was streaming some Lou Remix earlier today. Getting ready for this broadcast. It's like my own personal Barker channel. All right. A pair of Intel cards and a pair of Force cards. Keep. With Warsaken Blitz, you start with a leader, 4 territories, and your arsenal of 60 cards. From that 60, you are dealt 8 You can take a mulligan if you want a reroll, essentially a reshuffle and dealing 8 more, but I look for something that I can work with right away. I've got that here with the 2 sets of 2 in hand. I get to go first. That's a random draw, roll of 6. So nothing makes a match, but I have plenty of options. Start with weather. Pair of freezing rainstorm. Weather cards. 3 spots open in my war zone. 4 actions to go for the turn. But intel out there, exploit a design flaw. Pair of weather cards, pair of intel cards. 2 spots open in my war zone. 2 actions to go for the turn. Now, I could put the force cards out here, but that just... I don't know how much, if any, intel that Valkyria might have, and I'm not going to chance it too much at this point. Plus, I've mentioned before, I've grown to value that 3rd spot in my war zone, keeping that open early in a game unless I have a lot of weather or extra intel or something. In other words, protecting my force cards a bit and protecting the spot. So I'm passing up the last 2 actions and ending the turn. Roll of 1 for Valkyria. Wow, no play. Solkanar, hello. Greetings and welcome. If I miss anybody in chat, it's not intentional. Roll of 1. Okay, nothing makes a match, but see right here, I can play a weather card. Geomagnetic disturbance. Love getting weather cards out there when it makes sense to. So I'll play the 1 here. Make the most of that 1 action in the turn. Whereas I would have those force cards out there, then either I pull one of them back and that's it for the turn, or I play a weather card as a standalone and get my potentially in my own way in that 4th spot in my war zone. So that's the strategy behind that. Weather card for Valkyria, just the 1. With fire in the fields. So that's it for the turn. My turn. 6. There we go. We got a weather match with geomagnetic disturbance, so I'll get an extra turn. Boo to intel. The Solkanar. Well, this is, I mean, if you want to see a pure intel deck, we'll probably run into that sooner as opposed to later. That can get a little bit tedious with the live stream, but it's part of the game. I'll take the extra turn. It's a good learning opportunity for new players, and that's the idea with this show. People that are new to Warsaken Blitz. I'm going to play a pair of intel cards here with Assassination Attempt. Remember, it's the categories that matter for Warsaken Blitz. As far as when you have a match, it's not that I have a Assassination Attempt third to play there. It's just that I have a third that makes an intel match. It's the same thing as if I have the exploited design flaw as the Assassination Attempt. That's not the case for the full Warsaken game, but for Blitz, the simplified version, that's how it works. I very much, as I noted, keep that 4th spot in my war zone open. I value that. So I'm going to pass up those 2 actions to end this turn. Now the extra turn. 6. Wow. All right, so finally a force match for me. I've got building cards I can play for a match as well. So I may play the G16 back and then just go right back for it. Force match allows you to eliminate one of your opponent's 4 territories. We'll take out Clementine Meyer. All right, 3 actions to go for the turn. Go back for weather, go back for force. Those are 2 choices right here. I have 1 each for the WMDs, but you don't want to wait around too often just passing up actions turn after turn, because then you start rolling 1s and 2s, and then suddenly it's not such a great opportunity for you necessarily. Turn 3 to your hand. G16 back. I could have gone weather, but opted not to there. That ends my turn, either way. Taking on Valkyria, first game of the broadcast. Roll a 4. Grand prize for today. A night vision. That Lakeland, that rank 3. There's a force match. It's one of those dog cards. We'll see the dog deck a little later in the broadcast that I have. I have 5 different deck slots here in my Warsaken Blitz setup here. I'll show you more in a bit with that. 3 territories remain for both of us now. That force match for Valkyria eliminating one of my 4. The number on your shield is your morale. If that hits 0, it's like if all of your territories are eliminated, or if all of your deck, your arsenal, hits 0 cards. Any of those things happen, it gives you a compromised leader. Then all your opponent needs is a force match to beat you. My turn. Pair of weather cards out there for Valkyria. 1. All right, now this is a little bit unusual here, but so it goes. I've got 4 of these, so if I were to have intel played against it, no problem. I got 3 more because I just brought these back from my discard pile. This is not going to be any surprise here. G16 mech again, and that's it for the turn. This is the Dusk Magma game mat that I'm using with this deck today. Valkyria saying, love your dog deck. Wish we had more dogs, but there'll be more options down the line. Maybe not a dog leader card, but I try with that deck at least have cards that seem to be in the spirit of it. Like the farmer card. Pair of weather out. It's interesting. Valkyria, with that, see where I had that pair of intel cards out there. Sometimes that can be a deterrent against having an opponent put as much in their Warzone 6. Wow. Now, I'm still in a spot here without any sort of a WMD match. And it's like, how long do you wait? I already went to the trouble of bringing back a force match for my discard pile with the G16 mech. Go ahead and play that now, since that won't be any sort of a surprise. This will eliminate a second territory for my opponent, leaving only 2 remaining. I may go back for weather. I think I'll do that. Ghost Training Facility. Big fan of this card. Building card match. If your arsenal is getting milled down, if it's getting close to 0 especially, you have the option of putting 6 cards there, but usually you'll go, at least I play it my way. Return 3 to hand. Going back for weather. You don't want to go back for a building card, since that would be just a waste of actions. Like playing 3 building cards to bring back 3 building cards. That wouldn't make much sense. Geomagnetic disturbance. Yeah. Oh. Just like before, this is where I have 4 of them in hand. I can play 1. If it gets bounced, no big deal. I have 3 more. If not, then that's 1 less action I have to use next turn to get the weather match. That's it for the turn. Taking on Valkyria. Rules of 6. 18 cards and 6 actions. After this game, we'll be going back to the randomizer. I'll be looking for somebody else to play in live player versus player competition. There's a weather match for Valkyria. That weather match will mean an extra turn. 17 cards, 5 actions. Intel. Like I was saying, you never know for sure if or when your opponent might have some intel. WMDs. Pair of WMDs. A third would be a WMD match and eliminate 2 of my remaining territories. Weather card. Extra turn. Roll 1. 13 cards and 1 action here. Now that's interesting. A pullback on the WMD. My turn. 2. You see the strategy I used with the geomagnetic disturbance? Playing that 1. Worked out here. 2 actions. 2 more geomagnetic disturbance cards. Extra turn. 2. Oh. Won't always be perfect. Such is the nature of it. Okay. Play a pair of weather cards. Tranquil Sunlight. That ends my turn. Valkyria with a roll of 6. 20 cards and 6 actions. I tend to point this out. When your opponent in Warsaken Blitz has 20 or more cards, look out. Sometimes things can change in a hurry at that point. Tends to be kind of like the threshold as far as like where it can really take off. Not always, but usually. That weather match means an extra turn for Valkyria. Building match. Hey, Claude Moon, we'll be going back to the randomizer. I keep it closed between games. I want people who are actually there to play against me. One action to go for the turn. I assure you it's better this way, at least the way I do it. Pair of intel cards. WMD. Force. There's a force match. Stone. So we're both down to 2 territories now. 2 actions to go for the turn. Taking on Valkyria. Yeah, Claw Moon. It's funny. It's like the When Worlds Collide thing with people's real names versus their broadcast names. Reminds me of working in radio to a degree. So I was like, hey, Justin. And it says Claw Moon. And somebody reading might not know that. So hello. And so hopefully I have a chance to play here soon. It's my turn. 4. Wow. So I did not get that WMD match to drop in like I was hoping, but I'll be able to get 2 extra turns right here. First things first. I mean, I don't really have I have to do this one first because I've used all 4 spots in my war zone. Even though I normally don't play it that much like this, sometimes the situation dictates it. That's what we have here. Extra turn. Shattered ground. Second extra turn. When I say I need a good reason to use that 4 spot in my war zone, this particular scenario qualifies. First of 2 of the extra turns. 5. Wow, still nothing but that WMD. How long do you wait? Also got some intel over here. Freezing rainstorm. It's a weather match, extra turn. Okay. I don't have to get a WMD match necessarily. Assassination attempt. Bounce. Intel. Bounce. WMD. Bounce. Other WMD. Bounce. Call me, yeah, Claw Moon saying, call me Justin. Keep confusing people. 3 actions to go for this turn. All right. Private Wolfric Hoffman, force. This eliminates a 3rd territory. Extra turn. If I roll a 6 here, I'll get the win. Hardly a guarantee. 2. So I can play another intel. I can force a discard. It bounced the 2 cards out there in that war zone. Normally I say the earlier the better if you're going to force a discard, but there's not been a WMD match played against me yet, so I say at least do that before a WMD is played against you. So we'll do the enemy discard. That'll happen at the end of my turn. I'll play 1 X32-0. If it gets bounced, I got 3 more. Extra turn, a 5 or a 6 would win it for me here. 3. It's like, hey, how's it going over here? You know, hello, WMD match finally showing up. Well, since I have it, tactical nuke. If there are 2 up there, it takes out 2. If there's only 1 left, it just takes out the 1. Abandoned Wasteland. A WMD match will not eliminate a compromised leader. There is a balance to this. Now the Force discard, which in hindsight, if I would have played Force instead of that, I think we would have been done here. I don't think I played that one necessarily the optimal way, and yet I don't know for sure offhand. We'll get to see what's discarded in what order if I pay attention to it. It doesn't just tell you. I mean, you have to just be looking. Warsaken Blitz, you can look in your opponent's discard pile. We'll have the Force discard. I know the die shows a 1, but that's it on standby. It'll be Valkyria's turn, and maybe it'll be a roll of 1, but that's not necessarily indicative of what it'll be. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou Live. With an intel match, typically I'll use it to bounce cards from my opponent's war zone, but sometimes, especially, it's unusual for me to do it at this point of the game, but this has been a little bit unusual the way the cards have been showing up for me. Just the luck of the draw. But it's enough variance where this game never gets boring. Alright, so Force, DX8. More Force, oh yeah. Boom, boom, boom with the Force. Okay, that's it for the turn, or for the Force discard. 4, it's the roll there. So it's 18 cards and 4 actions here for Valkyria. My concern would be a weather match, because that can mean an extra turn. A WMD match would give me a compromised leader. There's a Force match with a Barracuda. But it's similar to what I had as far as how long do you wait for that third Force match? 1 action to go for the turn. Morale. All right, if I roll a 2 or higher, I'll win it. 4. All right, so I needed 2, rolled a 4. X32, 0 for the win. Good game. Good game, Valkyria. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou Live. Bring the slate up for a moment. For somebody today's going to win that Lakeland Oil Grounds, that Night Fish in rank 3 territory. That'll be part of the prize round at the end of the broadcast. Okay, I'm going to clear and then reopen the randomizer now. Exclamation point join. Go ahead and type that in chat. If we haven't played yet, I've just had the 1 game thus far against Valkyria. And try and play a variety of opponents, but all depends on how many people are looking to play and who's there at a given point. Exclamation mark join. We've got CVN Live in there along with Tyskin. I want to say the name correctly. And then Claw Moon, Justin is in there. So we got at least 3. Last call, exclamation point, join. Into the randomizer. We got to take an hourly break. And then on the other side of the breaks when I'll have the hourly giveaway. I'll post in chat a claim link for a Warsaken foil prime card. So we'll have that coming up here later in the hour. Close the door. Give it a spin. One of you 3 be my next opponent here on NashvilleLou Live. right, and it lands on 1. So congratulations, CVN Live. The randomizer has chosen you. So if you could please, CVN Live, provide me with a connect code. We'll get this next game started here shortly. Typing away and then realized I had accidentally hit the caps lock. So I'm ready if you hit a connect code. Typing that in all caps might be confusing. And then there it is. Thank you. So I've got the connect code from CVN Live. Thank you and good luck. Have fun to get ready to hit enter once I get the connect code typed in. Make sure I have 2 different keyboards and 2 computers for this, so I have to make sure I type the correct thing in the correct place. Uh-oh. Just going through and making a few changes. That must be something wrong with my Reward XP optimized deck. That one's on the blink. It's with a fire deck. Queen of Wadi on standby at all times. Here we go.
Warsaken.
All right, here we go. Taking on CVN Live. All right. Well, I've got a pair of weather cards. Something that I can work with initially. So that's something I'm going to keep. All right, so CVN Live goes first, rolls a 2. This is the Slate Lux game method I'm using with this deck today. With the fire deck, I've got the orange card backs of the black Warsaken logo, pair of weather cards. CVN Live, my turn. 2. Well, there's some good news for me, but it's not enough to play this turn. So, I'm not going to play that in partial form. No thanks. Not do that. It says play a pair of weather cards with the fire in the fields on fire. That's it for the turn. Taking on CVN Live, who just rolled a 6. There's a force match. That will eliminate one of my 4 territories. 3 actions to go for the turn. Remember, people with linked Wax wallets who are here watching me live and participating in chat, able to earn loot from Warbot. Very generous thing that Warsaken does. Supports live streamers like me. Gives extra incentive to people to, especially the way I do my broadcast, where you can kind of listen in the background. This is designed in a way, or just kind of worked out really, as far as being something where it kind of falls into the usual working time slot for most of the major 4 time zones in the United States. All right, 4 actions here. Let's go ahead and play it. Maw's Gas, WMD match. This will eliminate 2 of my opponent's territories. That Abandoned Wasteland's only a -1 morale if it's eliminated. It doesn't really matter for this particular deck that I'm using, but just to point it out, -3 morale for Brotherland Fields, -3 morale for Mount Optania production sites. So we'll get these 2. So thus the 2 territories are eliminated, and for the morale it drops from 19 to 13 for CVN Live. I have 1 action to go for the turn, 3 spots open in my war zone. Play Weather, Blasting Blizzard, and that ends my turn. It's a roll of 1. Second weather card. 2 sets of 2 weather and a pair of force cards. My turn. 2. All right, 2 sets of 2 weather. 2 spots open in my war zone. 1 action to go for the turn. DX8, force. That's it for the turn. I mean, there is some risk to doing that. Typically, I do value keeping that 3rd spot in my war zone open a bit later, but can't be too predictable. Switch it up a bit. Weather match. Plus, I just played the 1, so if I need to, I can pull it back. Pair of force cards. CVN Live with a roll of 6, 14 cards, and 6 actions. Somebody who beats me here today live on stream is going to win a rank 3 night vision. A territory card, Lakeland, to pull back. 4 actions to go for the turn. With a pair of force cards and a pair of weather cards out there. There's a Tranquil Sunlight. There's 2 of them. I'm guessing 2 only, yeah, because otherwise you could have just played weather in that 4th spot and not bothered with the pullback. Although not necessarily. Some people have different ways of approaching it, but anyway, a slice at 2 sets of 2 weather and a pair of force cards opposite, but it's my turn. 4. We'll have a weather match here with the Lasting Blizzard. Really shouldn't have Lasting Blizzard and Freezing Rainstorm. I was mixing some stuff up and switching some stuff out with my decks. Keep a little bit of variety, but failed to take into account those 2 are a bit similar. Anyway, maybe sure that is the right one, right? Yes. After all that, to pick the wrong card would be quite embarrassing. Lasting Blizzard. Pay attention, Pickney. Extra turn. 2 spots open in my war zone. I'll play that second DX8. And some 2 spots and 2 actions. But I don't want to put building cards out there. Nothing else is a pair, so I'll pass up those 2 actions in the turn. Now the extra turn. 1. For that 1 is a 3rd fire in the field, so I'll have another extra turn. You see why I like having weather cards out there. Extra turn. 2. Czar Cyrus, Fabricator. That ends my turn. CVN Live with a roll 3, 17 cards and 3 actions. 2 sets of 2 weather. A pair of force cards. T1 Mosquito. That's night vision. Still, not a fan of up close insects. Kind of the heebie-jeebie factor. My turn. 6. All right, 3rd is Czar Cyrus, Fabricator, force. Abandoned Wasteland. All right, 5 actions to go for the turn. Play a pair of weather cards, Freezing Rainstorm. Pair of weather cards, pair of force cards. 2 spots open in my war zone. 3 actions to go for the turn. Play a pair of intel cards with the burn notice on fire. Tech, hello. Greetings and welcome. All right, I'm going to pass up that last action in the turn. Roll 4. 21 cards and 4 actions here for CVN Live. Storm Surge, weather match. So we'll have another extra turn coming up here. Make it a double with the geomagnetic disturbance. The first of 2 extra turns, roll 2. 19 cards, 2 actions, and a second extra turn awaiting. Pair of force cards. Extra turn number 2, roll of 2. A 3rd Tranquil Sunlight can mean another extra turn. There it is, Tranquil Sunlight, so another extra turn. The weather cascade is Rolling right along. One action to go for the turn. There's a force match. This will eliminate a second territory for me, leaving only 2 remaining. Now the third extra turn. Roll 3. 20 cards and 3 actions. Another weather match can mean another extra turn. A WMD match could give me a compromised leader. Force match. I'll gladly take a third force match being used against me as opposed to a WMD in this situation. At least with this, still have 1 territory left. We're both down to 1 territory. My turn. I need 2 force matches to get the win. It's a roll 4. I'll have an extra turn, and I can play the third DX8 here. No. Already played a WMD. You can only play at most 1 per side in a given game of Warsaken Blitz cloud cover. Extra turn. DX8, force. This eliminates that last territory, the vast hinterland. Extra turn. A force match could win it for me right here. It's a roll 4. Will I have it? No. I can play weather for an extra turn. I can play building cards and go back for force. So if I roll a 3 or high, well, let's think about this. Okay, this is the case where I think I can win it right here. Play the freezing rainstorm, play the +3 actions. So I'll use 1 action to play the third weather. That'll drop me from 4 to 3. But the +3 actions means 3 + 3 to 6. Play 3 building cards, play 3 force cards, get the victory, and go to my hourly break. How about that? Freezing rainstorm, +3 actions. Comes a 6. Look before you leap with your building cards. Going back for the DX8. Why not? Glasport radar facility. Building match. DX8. 3 actions. You see why I did it this way. DX8 for the win. All right, good game. All right, good game, CVN Live. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou Live. So I'm off to a 2-0 start, but between last Friday's show and today, I am due for some RNG to not fall my way. Sometimes you get the breaks in this game. You never want to get too high or too low when it comes to a given game of Warsaken Blitz. Went down to the wire there. I was able to pull it off there at the end. So I'm going to take my hourly break now. I want to stick around because at the end of this break, I'm going to have a claim link I'll post in chat. And the first person to click the link and then, more importantly, click on the claim. First person to get it wins it. So that'll be a Warsaken Foil Prime card given away coming up here at the end of the break. And after that, we'll be going back to the randomizer. It's closed right now. I'll open it back up. We're going to have more live player versus player competition. We'll have that for you here in just a few minutes. About a 5-minute break for me here, give or take. And then back at it soon after. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou Live. Stay tuned. right, coming back from break, I posted a link in chat for this hour's giveaway. Warsaken foil prime card. The link posted in chat. First person to get the claim in gets it. And we'll have another Warsaken foil prime card giveaway in our next hour. Speaking of prizes, somebody is going to win a night vision card here on today's broadcast at Lakeland Oil Grounds. It's a rank 3 territory. I've got 2 wins thus far. So law of averages between last Friday and now suggests I'm due for some poor RNG and thus some victories for other people, plus some excellent gameplay from the Legion in general. You know how that is. We'll now clear and reopen the randomizer. So if we haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz, and you'd like to be my next opponent, go ahead and type !join in chat. !join. We haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz, and you'd like to be my next opponent. Saw some people during chat. There, Pennybags Jr. Gabbix, I saw in here. Let's see. All right. If I missed anybody, not intentional. Last call to get in on this. Also, if you want to get some Warsaken card packs with either Woofy or TLM, if you're mining over at Neary 3616 in Alien Worlds and you got some TLM saying, hey, what can I do with this? Well, at least for the next few days, you can use that over at the Hive. Get yourself Warsaken Savage Escalation pack. So there's the link in chat for that. Wow, we have 6 people in on this, huh? Business starting to pick back up a bit, isn't it? So many people love this game. Warsaken Blitz. Tremendous fun. And we'll have at least a couple opportunities at the end of the broadcast, or toward the end of it, for second chances. But we have Claw Moon, Pennybags Jr., Tyskin, Gabbix, Zeal, Tech. Hey, UXWU in the house. Hello. This will be a 7-person spin. Just about to hit that close button, so timing worked out. Close the door and give it a spin. One of you 7 will be my next opponent here on NashvilleLou Live. You never know with this game. You never know with this show. And it lands on 2. Pennybags Jr. Congratulations, the randomizer has chosen you. So if you could please, Pennybags Jr., provide me with a connect code. We'll get this next game started here shortly on NashvilleLou Live with Warsaken Blitz. Remember, people are earning loot from Warbot. Got linked Wax Wallet. Participating in chat. Having fun with this broadcast here. People a chance to earn loot from Warbot. And a chance to win. At least one person today will win that Lakeland Oil Grounds rank 3 night vision card that I have there on the slate for today. Worked out pretty well. So what I put up there? How about what I'm giving away as the grand prize today? It works out. Yes, please. Go type that in chat and I didn't. It's ready if you have a connect code. Thank you. There it is. Awesome. So I've got the connect code from Pennybags Jr. Get this typed in. We'll get this next game started here in just a moment. Thank you. Good luck. Have fun. Dog deck. Using the dog deck here. Since there isn't a dog leader card, we'll use a Great Emperor Lee.
Warsaken.
We'll have Rusty, we'll have Stone, we'll have the DX8, have the Black Dog tank. Oh, nice avatar there. Pennybags Jr. Take a ride on the reading. This selection of cards can take a ride on the reading. Go directly to jail, pal. Nothing makes even a pair. Well, this might, but building cards aren't what I would classify or what I can use right away. Similar to WMDs, I'm looking for fours matches, intel matches, weather matches, or not even matches, but just 2 of them. Better than what I have here. So he's a mulligan. It'll reshuffle my arsenal of 60 and then deal me 8 cards again. Pair of weather cards. That works for me. Only use that second mulligan if you absolutely have to. Because your opponent gets an extra card and you're stuck with whatever they give you. And sometimes it's not any better than what you had. Sometimes it's worse than what you had. Luck of the draw. Keep. But sometimes it's invaluable. It turns out to be very much the right move. Weather. Fire in the fields. Pair of force cards. Pennybags Jr. My turn. 1. Alright, so just 1 action here. Fire in the fields. Weather. Pennybags Jr. with a roll of 2. Pair of WMDs out there. My turn. 5. I'll be back tomorrow. 2 p.m. Eastern. 1800 UTC start time with more Warsaken Blitz. This afternoon time slot. I can't wait for Game Reward XP, but until we get there with that, I'm having a blast with just the randomizer and the live player versus player competition. Fire in the fields. So this will be a weather match that'll give me an extra turn. 3 actions still to go for this turn. No, I'm going to go ahead and play the building cards here. Since I have nothing else, I mean, I can play a pair of force, but Instead, go ahead and just go with it. Sawyer's Garage. There's a limit when it comes to Warsaken Blitz as far as how many weather matches you can have. And 4 sets of 4 is the max. One nice little workaround that sometimes plays out, depending on how a given game goes. Going back for weather. And the idea with the limitation is that these weather cascades, at some point, there has to be some limit to it. Now, it wasn't exactly free. I had to play a building card match to get it, but again, opportunity and the circumstances kind of dictated it. If you like weather matches, you're in for a treat. Play what my opponent's already seen with the Fire in the Fields. Yeah, Fire in the Fields and Ideal Conditions do the same thing in Warsaken Blitz. Blitz is simplified, the simplified version of Warsaken, so it's the weather match. That's the important part, not what it is. For the full version of Warsaken, it very much is important, but this is where Warsaken Blitz is so great for new players. It doesn't overwhelm you. It's like, okay, the categories, learn that first, and you can enjoy this game. Got 1 extra turn to go. Ideal Conditions, weather match. 2nd extra turn. Now, there's no guarantee these extra turns will be high rolls. Doesn't always work out that way in this game. 1, see? Intel. Field research. Now the 2nd extra turn. 1, see? Again, it does. Those extra turns, it doesn't always pan out the way you think it might. But, okay, I'll play the 2nd intel, and that'll end the turn. Taking on Pennybags Jr., who rolled a 2. No play. Which is interesting with the 1 weather out there like that. Different players have different approaches to this game. Which is part of the fun of it. 5. Alright, a force match and a weather match. Usually you want to play your weather match first. Blinding Sandstorm. Extra turn. Still have 2 actions to go for this turn, so I'll play 2 of these X3 Black Dog Force cards. Pair of Intel, pair of Force. I've got that 3rd one in hand, so even if this is a 1, I'll still have a match. 6. I can handle that. All right. X3 Black Dog Force. That force match eliminates one of my opponent's 4 territories. Fermi energy plants. Eliminated. Get my tenant version in game. Okay, so I have intel and then force that I can go with here. Field research, intel. Let's bounce. Fire in the fields, weather, bounce. A-Caner in, bounce. Kinetic space strike, WMD, bounce. All right, 4 actions to go for the turn. Oh, God. There we go. DX8, force. This will eliminate a 2nd territory for my opponent. So Pennybags Jr.'s down to 2 territories. 1 action to go for the turn. I don't normally play a one-off weather like this, but I will here. Shattered ground. That's it for the turn. So Pennybags Jr. with a roll of 4. After this game, I'll be going back to the randomizer. I'll be looking for another opponent. Somebody I haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz. Somebody's going to win that rank 3 Night Vision Lakeland. There's a building match. So you're going back for what got bounced. Building card matches are a great antidote to people like me that come boss hogger their way through with an intel match to bounce it. So that undoes the bounce. There's a pullback on that WMD, which is interesting. Makes me think there may be 3 in hand now. Maybe not. May be just working smart there to get it out of harm's way. Okay, I rolled a 1. So now it's kind of like this odd thing with that weather just kind of hanging out there, nothing matching it. Hold off on this for now. How long do you wait with WMDs? Pass up the action in the turn. Let's roll 2 for Pennybags Jr. So if the idea is to protect those WMDs, well, don't worry about that. Force match. This will eliminate one of my 4 territories. So I'm down to 3. My turn. 6. Okay, I'll be able to get the win right here. Sometimes you get the breaks in this game. White Phosphorus Bomb, WMD match. This will eliminate my opponent's final 2 territories. Give Pennybags Jr. a compromise leader. Three actions to go for the turn. Once your opponent has a compromised leader in Warsaken Blitz, all you need is 1 force match to get the win. I'll get this right here with Lucas Campbell Farmer for the win. All right. All right, good game, Pennybags Jr. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. So we approach top of the hour. Do a quick reset. First, give you a look at that Lakeland Oil Grounds territory, that rank 3 Night Vision. Somebody who beats me here today live on stream will win that. By the end of the broadcast, I've had a lot of breaks go my way. And between this and last Friday, I'm due for some losses, just the way it normally goes. We'll see how that works out here in just a moment. And to that end, let me go ahead and, well, let me move this off my screen so I can see what I'm doing. Clear and then reopen the randomizer. Looking for people I haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz. If you'd like to be my next opponent, go ahead and type exclamation mark join in chat to enter the randomizer. We haven't played yet today in Blitz. exclamation point join. Into the randomizer, a chance to beat me. At the end of the broadcast, we'll go to the prize round. Kind of a tweak that I've made to the format that's helped a lot with the flow of this. Getting from one game to the next as quickly as possible. All right, so it's exclamation point join. Type that in chat. Zeal is in. Tyskin is in. I want to say the name properly. I have to. Sometimes with names and pronunciations, I tend to be, because I've so many years in sports broadcasting. First started doing that as a freshman in college in fall of 1995. Man, a long time ago. All right, so Morbid Angel, hello. Greetings and welcome to everybody who's even just peeking in for a little bit here. Last call. I didn't already say last call. Last call for this. But close the door here in just a moment. And I haven't lost yet today, and somebody is going to win that rank 3 night vision. I mean, those night visions, or at least with, it's different with like G-Force notes, but there's like 1 of 100, so talking about relatively limited thing. It looks cool and unique on stream. I'll go ahead and close the door. Let's give it a spin. One of you three will be my next opponent here on NashvilleLou Live. After this upcoming game, we'll go back to the randomizer. If you're looking for more live play versus player competition, just missed you there, Justin, on the spin. We got a landing on a 1, so Zeal, congratulations. The randomizer has chosen you. So if you could please, Zeal, provide me with a connect code. We'll get this next game started here in just a moment. Zeal and I tend to have these wild, unpredictable games. I mean, it's like that with a lot of people as well, as you might have noticed. It's so much fun. Warsaken. And particularly Warsaken Blitz, the simplified version of Warsaken. It's easy for new players to learn how to play. I have the overlay that I use that shows the categories and the associated emblems that go with them, the insignias. Make it easy for new people to learn how to play. Thank you. Zeal's getting that code for me. We'll get connected and we'll play here. See that Lakeland Oil Grounds card. And with this format, my goal is to play at least 10 people. Maybe I'll get 11 in on some days, maybe 12. But I don't want to rush it, but I want to keep the pace going as brisk as possible. I mean, today's an anomaly since I haven't lost yet, but in watching from this past week, I watch everything back, and I really have been happy with the flow as far as it's a live broadcast, so there's the connect code from Zeal. Thank you. It will never be as fast as I can make it with the Lou Remix channel, but those are past broadcasts. This is live. All right. Bring the slate down, type in the connect code that I got from Zeal, and we'll get this next game started here in just a moment. The night vision deck.
Warsaken.
So here we go, taking on Zeal. Talking about cool avatars. Zeal's got a great one there. Pair of force cards. When I have that, something I can work with initially, so I'll keep it. Don't be too picky with your starting 8. This is the Blood Fungus game mat that I'm using. With Warsaken Blitz, you can customize certain things in a game called cosmetics. It's like the game mat, the way the die looks, the way your card sleeves look, your battle title. See where it's kind of the shaped like a sword, like an ASCII artwork from decades ago. Roll a 4 for Zeal. I'll go ahead and, just for a moment, just to show it. bottom left overlay that I normally have with my primary logo. See the secondary logo, the giant purple circle with the big tall letters that say Lou, but for the purposes of what I do here, given there's limited space that you can use and not get in the way because of the great UI, this game makes the most of its space. Again, this game is still in beta release, which is impressive. But soon we'll be on to Game Reward XP, and it's going to get wild. My turn. A pair of building cards and a pair of intel opposite me. I rolled a 2. Now with building cards, there's nothing right now in my opponent's war zone, so I'm just kind of sitting out there reserved for future use. And a potential target if somebody has an intel match. I don't have an intel match. It's not the moment. Geomagnetic Disturbance, got a pair of weather cards. Play that. That ends my turn. Zeal with a roll of 3. So a pair of building cards, a pair of intel cards, now a pair of force cards out there in Zeal's war zone. That's it for the turn, my turn. So here I've got the die for this particular deck today, customized with the white background and the green to kind of go with the night vision. 3. Not everything is night vision, although that's actually in some ways a blessing. Everything looks similar, they can really get confusing. Camo decks in particular, that's kind of gets in the way. A camo kind of like is counterproductive at some point if you have too much of it. But with anything, it's you can. The nice thing with this, you can set it up if you have the cards to look however you want. Ultimately, cosmetic type effects. It's not going to give you a gameplay advantage per se. Tranquil Sunlight. But it's cool to have, like, knowing there's only 24 total of these 24 karat gold Tranquil Sunlights, and I've got one of them right there. And some fun to use in game live on stream. So 2 sets of 2 weather, 1 action to go for the turn. I will go ahead and play a card here in that 3rd spot, my war zone, stolen blueprints, intel. That ends my turn. Taking on Zeal. Zeal with a roll of 4. If you're new to Warsaken, if you're watching, hello to everybody watching on DraftKi.com, my NFL draft website, where I've got an embed of this live stream. People checking it out. Take a look at some NFL draft prospects. Learning some about their favorite team's new players. Force match eliminates one of my 4 territories, so I'm down to 3. My morale's down to 15. Morale shown on your shield, or your opponent's on your opponent's shield. Trying to compromise your opponent's leader and having your opponent's morale hit 0 is one of the ways where that can happen. All depends on what kind of deck setup you have, though. My turn. 5. Alright, so that Tranquil Sunlight give me an extra turn. Two spots open in my war zone. 4 actions to go for the turn. Play the 2nd stolen blueprints. Intel. Pair of weather cards, pair of intel cards. 3 actions to go for this turn. 2 spots open. Play a pair of force cards with a B6 Rabid Beast. I'll pass the last action in the turn. Now the extra turn. 5. Alright, get that WMD match. Happy about that. And a force match. Hooray. EMP Discharge. WMD match will eliminate 2 of my opponent's territories.
Select target.
Remember, you can play at most 1 WMD match per side in a given game of Warsaken Blitz. This will take Zeal from 4 down to 2. A big hit to the morale over there. Down from 20 to an 11. 2 actions to go for the turn. B6 Rabid Beast, Force.
Select target.
This eliminates a 3rd territory. So Zeal will be down to just 1 left. One action to go. Could play a force card here, but I'm not going to. I'll leave it as it is. Pass up that last action in the turn. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. We'll be going back to the randomizer. It's closed at the moment. I'll be looking for somebody else to play who I haven't faced yet today in Warsaken Blitz. For people that have already played me, we will have at least a couple of games at the end of the broadcast. We'll be open to people for second chance opportunities. Weather match will mean an extra turn. Building match. Going back for either force or weather, and it's weather. Get ready for that weather cascade. Cloud cover, extra turn, 3. 16 cards, 3 actions. There's the weather match. That's going to mean another extra turn momentarily here for Zeal, who should have, I think, 1 action still to go for this turn. Intel. I could bounce 3 of the 4 cards from my war zone. It could mill 6 cards from my arsenal, send them to my discard pile. It could force me to discard 3. 2 intel cards and a weather card. Bounce with an intel match. Now the other extra turn. Roll a 4. 17 cards and 4 actions here for Zeal, my opponent in this game. And I'm due for some losses. Somebody who beats me here today. There's a force match with Igor Bach, the electrical engineer. Somebody who beats me here today, live on stream, is going to win. At rank 3 night vision. Lakeland territory card that giving away. We'll find out in the prize round at the end of the broadcast who's going to get that. Force card. My turn. 5. Well. Play a second weather. Geomagnetic disturbance. 4 actions to go for the turn. The reason these are darkened out is because I've already played a WMD match, so I can't play a second one. Got 3 spots open in my war zone. Play a pair of intel cards with assassination attempt. Pair of weather, pair of intel, 2 spots open in my war zone, 2 actions to go for the turn. I mean, I could guess on one of these 2 pairs of force cards, and maybe that would be the play, but you put it out there, it could get bounced. Plus, there's no guarantee a third will show up for the next turn. So I'm going to pass up these actions here and end the turn. Again, I reiterate, some people don't play it this way. This is not necessarily the way, so don't expect that going into this. And hey, and the way that I do it might not necessarily even be the best way overall or in a given match. I never know for sure, though, how that roll of the die can change things in a hurry, which is part of the fun. So a pair of weather cards. Another weather card. Ideal conditions. But again, for the purposes of Blitz, 3 ideal conditions and 3 blinding sandstorms have the same effect. Just a weather match. And it's the categories that matter for Warsaken Blitz. So a pair of force cards, 2 sets of 2. Weather, but it's my turn. 3. See, if I had a pair of force cards out there, I wouldn't have enough actions to pull them back and then put both of these intel cards out there. I'll go ahead and do this here. Stolen blueprints. I'll keep that 4th spot open. Pass up the last action. End the turn. Taking on Zeal. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. Roll 1. But does Zeal have a third for either of those 2 sets of 2 weather? If so, that can mean an extra turn. Crypto Gamer, hello. Greetings and welcome. If I miss anybody or miss anything important in chat, it's not intentional. I try to keep up with it, but inevitably I'll watch back later. Oh, I missed that. Oh, I didn't see that note. Oh, that would have been fun to watch. But I'm just so accustomed to producing myself when it comes to most of my broadcasts. Most of my broadcasting, like television, the bulk of what I did was as a producer, telling other people what to do, which got interesting. TXR, aerial refueler.
Select target.
But for this format, it works out great. One-man broadcast machine. Except I don't have to do much for the technical stuff. That's not an area of strength for me. Eliminate the vast hinterland.
Compromised.
So Zeal's got a compromised leader. I need to get one force match to get the win. I don't have that. I have one action to go for the turn. I'm definitely going to keep that fourth spot in my war zone open, so I'll pass up that action in the turn. Zeal with a pair of force cards and 2 sets of 2 weather rolls a 5. Look out here. 19 cards and 5 actions. Weather match. So that'll be an extra turn. Uh-oh. I'm probably going to be done right here. At +1 actions against an opponent who knows what they're doing. WMD match, force match. We're about to stare down right here. So Zeal's going to give me a compromised leader. We'll both have a compromised leader. This WMD match. Assume Zeal's got a force match.
Compromised.
If so, that'll do it. There's 1, 2, 3. That's the game.
Eliminated. Defeated.
All right, good game. Zeal victorious. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. Congratulations to Zeal. So Zeal is on, or will be in on the prize round at the end of the broadcast. You don't have to be present to win if you've already beaten me. I make sure I have people's wax address. Of course, Zeal, I have yours saved. So we'll find out if Zeal ends up being the winner of the Lakeland Oil Grounds card that I'm giving away. Somebody will win that before this broadcast is over today. And we'll do the prize round at the end of the broadcast, and then shortly after I sign off, get the prizes sent out. So we'll have that coming up here. I need to double check something here. Stand by, please. Okay, I need to take that Warsaken announcing watch earn link out of circulation. I'll go ahead and do that right now. Let's see. They've been doing a lot to update the website. Brandon's been putting in some hours on that. All part of what's going to be a big launch with the Game Reward XP. When that becomes ready to go, we're going to have some fun with that. Okay, but I have to be putting out posting links that are dead in chat is not a it's not a fan favorite move. Helps if I hit the save button. Okay. So that seems to be fixed. Rexinator, hello. So Zeal has beaten me. Zeal will be in the mix. Somebody who beats me here today on stream is going to win that Lakeland Oil Grounds at Grand Prize. We'll have Warsaken super rare camo cards for the other winners. So we'll have that ahead. So let me clear and then reopen the randomizer. Exclamation point join if we haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz and you'd like to be my next opponent. Want a chance to beat me and earn a spot on the list with Zeal. Possibly win the grand prize from today's broadcast. Back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1800 UTC, with more Warsaken Blitz here on NashvilleLou Live. Try to have the proper scene set up here. I do. There we go. Exclamation mark join. If we haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz, for people that I've already beaten during this broadcast. We'll have a couple of opportunities there at the end. It'll be open to everybody. But for now, though, just people that I haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz. We got 4 names up there. So last call. Pull up on a screen where I can actually read it. Morbid Angel, it says. We got Claude Moon. Tyskin. Rexinator. Morbid Angel. We add this number to the wheel. All right. Go ahead now and close the door. We'll give it a spin. One of you 4 will be my next opponent here on NashvilleLou Live. Remember, I'll be giving away a Warsaken foil prime card. Coming up, I'll have that. We'll drop the claim link in chat. Coming up on the other side of my hourly break. So it's landed on 2, the randomizer. Tyskin. Randomizer has chosen you. So if you could please provide me with a connect code. We'll get this next game started here shortly. Got Warbot giving out loot. People with linked Wax wallets who are chatting and watching here live. Do need to double check one thing. I don't know that I have your Wax address saved at Tyskin. So if you get the win, I'll make sure we have that written down here. Let's see. All right, get the connect code. Thank you. Like I mentioned with the game that just wrapped up there getting Zeal. Zeal and I have had some great battles. Goes down to the end, just like that one where it was both of us with a compromised leader, and Zeal got the victory at the end. So Zeal in the mix to be potentially the winner of that Lakeland Oil Grounds card today. The Tyskin now a chance to potentially join that list. Let's bring these slates down. Make sure I have the code pulled up here. I thought I had this. Thank you. Good luck. Have fun. Make sure I type that in the chat box and not into the join a match code box. Other keyboard, other computer, but I have to stop myself and say, okay.
Warsaken.
All right, here we go. Taking on Tyskin. All right, so I jotted down the Wax address here to have that for my notes. Although, I'll make sure I have the proper Wax address, because sometimes people have a different address in game than where they want it to go. Kind of like where I've got my primary wallet, my Wax Cloud wallet, and then I've got a few other, like Fulfillments wallet that I use for giveaways here for NashvilleLou Live. Pair of Force cards, keep. And I get to go first. 3. Okay. Well, wide open war zone since we're just underway. Pair of weather cards, Shattered Ground. Look at that. There's these some nice territories. Then a Blood Foil Leader card. 1 action to go for the turn. I'm going to hold off on playing anything else. Pass up the action, that 1 remaining action, and end the turn. Taking on Tyskin, rolled a 6. That flaming look there of the die, it's a cool look. That Blood Foil Leader, President Sienna, great card. Only 4 of those exist. Pair of weather cards, pair of force cards. Remember, look for that emblem, that insignia at the bottom left. That lets you know what category it falls into. So 2 sets of 2 weather and a pair of force cards. That ends the turn. My turn. 4. All right. 3 spots open in my war zone. 4 actions for the turn. No, not you. No. Sit down. Freezing rainstorm. Weather. 2 sets of 2 weather. 2 spots open in my war zone and 2 actions to go for the turn. Again, I tend to be more and more, tend to be cautious earlier, especially earlier in a given game with that 3rd spot in my war zone. I could put a pair of force cards out there, but I won't. Pass up the actions and the turn. Roll of 2. Taking on Tetiskin. No play. My turn. Seriously shiny, yes. Alright, well. Have a little bit of patience. Maybe something better shows up, and then eventually, well, okay. I'll go ahead and put some force out there now with the 4FS Red Wolf. 2 of these cards. That ends my turn. Tideskin with a roll of, what was that, 3. It's a trio of WMDs right there. That's going to be a WMD match to eliminate 2 of my 4 territories. Blink of an eye, drop from 4 down to 2. My turn. 6. All right. Intel match, force match, weather match. Play the weather first. Freezing rainstorm. Extra turn, we'll get to that in a moment. 5 actions to go for the turn. Split up these 3 sets of 2 out there with Intel. Exploit a design flaw. Let's bounce. Bounce 3.
Select target.
Weather. Air pollution. Let's bounce that.
Select target.
RX Bobcat.
Select target.
Bounce that force, and then Violent Tornado bounce. Pair of force cards. X32-0. Extra turn. 4. All right. X32-0. Force match.
Select target.
This eliminates one of my opponent's 4 territories. Look at that. Biofuel research farms. Got thermal ash. Only 10 of these exist. That takes my opponent down to 3 territories. Play RFS Red Wolf force match.
Select target.
Eliminate a 2nd territory with the Black Earth Mine. Three spots open in my war zone. 2 actions to go for the turn. Geomagnetic disturbance, weather. That ends my turn. Tetiskin for the force match. I'm down to 1 territory. 2 actions to go for the turn. I'll pull back on that weather. Pull back on that other weather. The impact of, if you can time an intel match properly, cause some problems for your opponent. My turn, 2. Not going to put building cards out there in partial form. Play a pair of force cards. G16 mech. That ends my turn. 3. So a pair of intel cards. Pair of force cards. My turn. 1. Alright. Well, I can't match anything with this one action here. I'll keep that 4th spot open for now. Pass up the action. End the turn. Making on to Tyskin. Rolls a 4. 18 cards and 4 actions. Intel, uh-oh. All's fair in turnaround. I'm guessing it'll be the haircut, 1 off the top of each, breaking up those 3 sets of 2 in my war zone. It could be a forced discard, it won't be. Again. Just thinking of what to put building cards out there in partial form. When your building cards end up in your discard pile, then you got a problem. Because you need building cards to bring things back from your discard pile. Alright, so a pair of weather cards to go with an existing pair of force cards, then the one-off force, the Kraken in gold. I'd do a double take. Which is fitting, I guess, with being the Kraken. My turn. 2-pronged approach. Alright. Ugh. Okay. Okay, so I've got a Shattered Ground in hand. I've got 1 out there. I've got 1 here. So I can go back. I can use my building card match. I'll go back. I can get the other Shattered Ground, the 1 in my hand, I'll play as the final 2 actions for the turn to get an extra turn. Another question is, what else do I get? Well, I get that Geomagnetic Disturbance. I can go back for that go back for the stuff that got bounced, essentially. I don't need anything with these standalone 3s. Building card matches are a great antidote to an intel attack. Thunderbird, ICBM. Building match. Alright, so again, going back for what got bounced. So the G16 mech. Most importantly, the Shattered Ground. And also the Geomagnetic Disturbance. 2 actions for the turn, so I'll play the 2 Shattered Grounds. Weather cards. Extra turn. Here's the extra turn. 6. I was really hoping a WMD match was going to drop in, but it didn't. However, we have options. Weather options. Geomagnetic Disturbance. Extra turn. Whoa. Assassination attempt intel. Bounce.
Select target.
Look at this right here, the gold Kraken. Bounce that. Beautiful of a card as it is.
Select target.
Not so beautiful when you're staring down the business end of it. Speaking of the business end, there's an RX Bobcat. Bounce.
Select target.
And we'll get rid of a weather card as well with a freezing rainstorm. Bounce. Those cards get bounced from my opponent's war zone to my opponent's discard pile. 1 action to go for the turn. Play a second G16 mech. Now the extra turn. If I roll a 4 or higher, and if I can get a 3rd WMD match in hand, then I can get the win here. Let's see. 3. Well, it won't happen here. Like that. Now will it? Can't wait forever in this game. Alright. G16 mech.
Select target.
Eliminate a 3rd territory. Mount Uptania. 2 actions to go for the turn with a wide open war zone for me. Both down to 1 territory. Both have a vast hinterland, and that's it. I'll play a single Tranquil Sunlight. Actually, play them both. Slowly. Now I'll play a second. That ends the turn. There's no difference as far as the way. It just, they make it easy if you want to play 2 of them to do it at once. It's just, I didn't do it that way that time. Roll of 1. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. Taking on Tetiskin. I've lost to Zeal this broadcast. Somebody who beats me here today live on stream is going to win that night vision. That rank 3 Lakeland. My turn. 4. All right. So here's an occasion for me to use the +3 actions. Tranquil Sunlight. I don't need the extra turn. I have what I need to win end hand. I just need the actions. 3 turns into a 6. I need 2 force matches to get the win, or a WMD and a 4, since I've already played 3 force matches before. Anyway, in other words, I have to do the order properly here, so making sure I play the WMD first. Tactical Nuke.
Select target.
That eliminates my opponent's final territory.
Compromised.
Private Wolfric Hoffman for the win.
Select target.
This is an awesome card. Blood Foil Presence Iana. Love that card, but we'll eliminate it to get the win.
Leader eliminated. Victory.
All right. Good game. Let's make sure my notes are up to speed. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. Later in the hour, I'll be giving away a Warsaken Foil Prime card. I'll have the flame link that I'll post in chat toward the end of my upcoming break. Make sure this is up. Make the rounds a little bit here as far as making sure everything's going okay with the live stream. It appears to be. Appreciate everybody taking the time to watch and to play. I love this game. I love live streaming Warsaken Blitz. Such a great time with it. Next broadcast with Warsaken Blitz tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1800 UTC start time for that. All right. So I'm going to take my hourly break now. On the other side of this break, I'll be giving away that Foil Prime Warsaken card. We'll have that link posted in chat. After that, we'll be going back to the randomizer, looking for people I haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz. If we have played, you'll still want to stick around, have a couple of chances. Will be second chance opportunities for people that have beaten me, or that I've beaten. I have the one loss I have taken thus far against Zeal. There will be more in all likelihood. We're going to have a lot of fun with that coming up here in just a few minutes, so stick around. On the Foil Prime giveaway, more live player versus player competition. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. Stay tuned. coming back from break. I posted the link in chat for this hour's Warsaken Foil Prime card prize giveaway. First person to click on that link and then claim it gets it. And we'll have another coming up in our next hour here on NashvilleLou Live. Going to clear and then reopen the randomizer now. Exclamation point join. Type that in chat. If we haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz and you'd like to be my next opponent here in the broadcast, somebody's going to win. See up there on screen on the slate today at Lakeland Oil Grounds. That's a rank 3 night vision. We're talking epic. We're talking there are only 100 of these total that exist. And somebody will win this. Thus far, Zeal, the only person to beat me here today, live on stream. So Zeal may end up being the winner. We'll see. And for those that don't win the grand prize, we'll have a Warsaken Camo, a super rare card for those other winners. So, all right, let me get the screen pulled up so you can see it even better, right? Exclamation mark join. Type that in chat. If we haven't played yet today in Blitz and you'd like to be my next opponent, we will have opportunities for people who have already played coming up in the last 2 games of the broadcast. We've got Morbid Angel. Hello to Rexy. Rexinator in there. Claw and Moon. Justin. And it's one thing with this time slot. I mean, it's going to have to be 2 to 5 Eastern daily. That's just the way it's going to, that's what I've got lined up. But I hate running head to head. That past Wednesday, like, I'd be down for like a best of 3 or best of 5 or something if you're so inclined. Something to think about, if nothing else, for that Wednesday. Once we get Game Reward XP, I want to have a bunch of people streaming at the same time. It wouldn't bother me now if that happened, but I appreciate everybody taking the time to watch and to play. It's great fun. Playing it. It's even more fun to live stream. If you've never tried live streaming it, you should. It's a blast. UXWU, just about to adjust the wheel. You got in just in the nick of time. Let me go ahead and close the door now. 4 names on the list, 4 numbers on the wheel. Make sure you can see it, because I don't have this pulled up here, and that'd be anticlimactic to not see the spin. We'll do it right now. See, my next opponent's going to be here in Warsaken Blitz on NashvilleLou Live. Lands on 3. So congratulations. Claw and Moon. Justin, randomizer has chosen you. So if you could, please. I know you've been patient. Randomizer sometimes more kind than others as far as how it works out, but all right. Yeah, ready if you got a connect code, please. One thing with live streaming that's difficult is when other people are live that I want to watch. Like, I love live streaming. There's no substitute for being able to connect with an audience. For me as a sports broadcaster, this is there's elements of that will be more evident once I get everything going with the Game Reward XP side. But with this, it's such a great community. I can't stress enough how wonderful the community is with Warsaken. All right, so Justin, gonna get that code for me here. So just give me a sec. No problem. Start making a new deck since you've been waiting long. We'll check it out here. I'm down a deck right now because of somehow I'm trying to switch a few things out. Because with a live stream, of course, people watch. And a lot of people watch on a daily basis. And there's even like a certain semi-evergreen element to these, which is odd because it's not like I love hearing myself back. Luckily, the music on that screen wasn't thrown off. A misclick, a botch. All right, it's not ready. Oh, okay, you're working on it. I see. All right, let me make sure I've got this set up here before I click the wrong thing. All right, get the connect code. Claw and Moon. We'll bring that down. Thank you. Good luck. Have fun. Of course, the caveat is I don't need to actually type it in. It doesn't just magically happen. Let's see. I'll even bring down the categories for a second to show you this. Not ready. Not all owned. Might have blended something that was within that deck before. So, anyway. Luckily, we have some other fun options. Like the fire deck. Here we go.
Warsaken.
The table flipper. Name there. Taking on Claw and Moon. Again, I did compare it to radio. Okay, I can call you Justin. I can call you Claw and Moon. It's like a radio legal ID. With the... And it's the same for me. I just have the overlay on top of it because it has to go somewhere for me. But that's how it looks when mine isn't pulled up. The Matchbreaker, which is a somewhat clever name for a fire-based deck. Once Game Reward XP goes live, it's going to be a little bit different as far as some of these deck layouts and some of these rank 1 cards. So I'm enjoying them while I can here. That's the upside of while we wait for Game Reward XP. Making the best of some of these fun cards and pair force cards. I've got that. I will keep that. Don't be too picky with that starting 8. Unless you are really feeling lucky. Don't pressure luck, I would suggest on that. But other people don't necessarily think of it that way. And that's something else I love watching other live streams. When people talk about the game and what they're doing and why, it helps new players learn. And it helps me to learn what other people use from a strategy standpoint, things that maybe I didn't think about. I think, well, maybe I could try it this way. Other ideas, other approaches, etc. So you start with a leader card, 4 territories, and your arsenal, your deck of 60. See that categories overlay I have here. Cards in your arsenal fit into one of those 6 categories. And a proper deck will have 15 sets of 4. You are allowed to have sets of 3, but don't do that. Just don't. Unless you want to lose a lot, which isn't all that. It's fun to play this game even when you lose, but don't put yourself at a tactical disadvantage. Pair of force cards. My turn. 15 sets of 4. All right. 2 actions for the turn. And when I talk about having something I can use right away, putting WMDs out there I think is asking for trouble. But I can play force right away. And it's much like with Intel or with weather, I feel good about putting that there early. I'd prefer weather. I'd prefer Intel, but look, you're sending some force. You're sending the Fabricator, Azar Cyrus. No nonsense. That's it for the turn. Like with Azar Cyrus, that's a rank 1 card, so having some fun with these cards while I can. Here live on stream. Although there are some very nice higher end cards that we'll have some fun with. Roll a 6 here. 14 cards and 6 actions. There's a force match. Taking on Claw and Moon. Also knows my buddy Justin, who eliminated one of my 4 territories. Like when I was up at a Sirius Radio in 2006, Madison, who works up there, has for years, the early days, Sirius. But her real name is Wendy, and so like she introduced herself into her real name. Like, I guess I'll call you that. Or some people have multiple names, like my buddy Big Rig down in Tampa, Ron Michaels. All right. Azar Cyrus, Fabricator. Force match eliminates one of my 4 territories. It's really cool because 105.9 The Rock here in Nashville, Big Rig voice tracks afternoon. So it is my buddy I get to listen to on the radio up here in Nashville, which is kind of cool. All right. Here's a Tenant card. Here's something else you won't see as much of in decks once Game Reward XP goes live. These Tenant cards are for the select few with an owner card. I don't even have one of those. Tenant is nice, but you know, I show it off and then eliminate. So we're both down to 3 territories. That's a -7 morale hit, so it drops to 13, which won't really matter for me here, but it's worth pointing out. You want low morale cards, especially for new players trying to put together a deck. You want those -3 if eliminated morale territories, like the Clementine Mire, talking about Bandcare Island, those kind of territories. You'll see them a lot in player versus player matches if you watch much at all here on Twitch. And I've got all my prior broadcasts. I mean, this is episode number 87, and I've got episode 1 through 86, all of them saved indefinitely here on Twitch as highlights. I even have individual pages within the Warsaken section on DraftKi. I found that Google is not much as far as letting people know about your Twitch highlights you have saved. They're not going to put that over too much, but if you embed it in a website, people can find it. So people want to go and watch some. I've got hours and hours of gameplay. So much fun with that. So I played a second force out there to go with a pair of... That's it for the turn. Normally I try and hesitate about putting 2 different sets of force cards out there. But at this point, I'm trying something a little different. That's it for the turn. My turn. 2. It also helps that I didn't have very many options there as far as what I could do. I'm going to play a pair of intel cards with the burn notice on fire. That will end my turn. Taking on Justin. Claw and Moon. Rolled a 3. There's a weather match. So that'll be an extra turn. But once Game Reward XP goes live, I very much will want people who are looking to play their viewers live on stream to be running opposite me, because there'll be people coming here that are going to want to play, and if I say, hey, I'm playing these Game Reward XP games, it'll be nice to have options for them. There will be options, because this game is going to take off. I tell you what, I'm so excited for the future with Warsaken Blitz, and to stream it as well. So there's an intel match. What was I saying about putting those force cards out there? They can get targeted by intel. Although it was interesting to see the approach there, bouncing both of the intels and just 1 force overall, but the way it worked out. But you see, I mean, that's case in point of why I try to be somewhat hesitant about doing that with force cards. But you notice I normally don't play WMDs like that, but some people do, and some people with their different deck configurations can certainly make it work. My turn. 4. Man. All right, let's do a pullback on the A7X. 3 actions to go for the turn. Play a pair of weather cards, cloud cover. And since it didn't get bounced, it actually worked out okay with the drop ship. Although you can see why there was certain risk to it that I took there that could have been problematic. It still could be. Who's to say there's not going to be an intel play on this next turn here? Roll 4. 15 cards and 4 actions. Taking on Claw and Moon. After this game, we'll be going back to the randomizer. I'll be looking for somebody else I haven't faced yet today in Warsaken Blitz. I've only lost once today, and that's relevant because somebody who beats me here today live on stream is going to win that rank 3 night vision, that Lakeland, that territory card. It was 4 wide and 2 deep in the opposite side war zone. Look at that. 2 sets of 2 force, a pair of WMDs, a pair of weather cards, then a pullback. Oh, there it goes. I can't even pull up to show you. Poof, it's gone. Gotta pay attention sometimes in this game. But you see the move there, it frees up that force spot in that war zone. I think that's a very good play. Not knowing what, obviously, Justin has in hand there, but my turn. 2. That's going to be nice to have, but particularly when I know intel is in the mix, putting that out there in partial form could be asking for trouble. In fact, it probably would be. Let's try something a little bit unconventional. Final Devotion. That's it for the turn. 4-3. 18 cards and 3 actions. Now that could just end up getting in the way for me there. I could be being more cute than I need to be with this, but maybe it'll work. We'll see. A weather match would mean an extra turn. A WMD match would eliminate 2 of my 3 remaining territories. A force would take out 1 of them. Only 1 intel in the deck. All it needs. Interesting. WMD match, well, I'm going to be down to 1 territory. So I wonder then, okay, if you have one, is it like extra force in there? You got it. And maybe after the game tell me. I'm looking for a tactical advantage in the moment. All right, so I can play that WMD match. I mean, that's... So again, that's sitting out there. The bait was not taken, so it's just in the way. But when you see the other options I have after this, I say, okay, well, I can pull it back. Maw's Gas, WMD match. This will eliminate 2 of my opponent's 3 remaining territories. Sanctuary, -6 morale. And we'll go with the Clementine Meyer, -3. Morale's down to 4, but if I eliminate this final territory, I'll give my opponent a compromised leader. However, not a viable option here at the moment. Now, here's where I will have a problem, because I'll do the pullback on the just in the way now, Final Devotion cards. But I can only play one of these weather cards that I wanted to, as opposed to 2. Fire in the Fields. Maybe it'll matter, maybe it won't. But you can see the approach there and how it played out this time. So it's demonstrative, if nothing else. And that's it for the turn. On the whole, if you're going to have a pair of cards out there in your war zone, typically, if you don't have a third in hand especially, weather is going to be what you have out there. If it gets bounced, okay. But if not, it's somewhat like a, perhaps a high risk, but a savings deposit nonetheless. There's the force match. Give me a compromise leader. Will this do it? One more force match would bait me. Justin up there with 18 cards. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. That'll do it. All right, good game. Claw and Moon, victorious. Perfect timing to do the quick reset as we hit top of the hour, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. You're watching NashvilleLou live here on Twitch, simulcast on DraftKi.com, my NFL draft website that I have an entire section for Warsaken set up. I've got my entire video archive there. I'm going to set up a section with clips, just Warsaken clips there as well, although you can certainly look those up if you're so inclined here on Twitch. A card catalog for people looking to learn about the various card options you got in this game. And there's a bunch of them. Some great cards, great artwork, fun game. So let me make sure I've got my notes up to speed. And I don't have them up to speed, which is why I sometimes have to hit the proverbial break, say, all right. So I've taken a loss against Zeal and now against Justin. It's Claw and Moon. So that's at least 2 people who are going to be in the mix when we go to the prize round about an hour from now. Typically my goal with this is to go 3 hours with a slight overrun, try and get at least 10 games in. And so we should be on pace. Well, we'll see about the 10 games. I think I missed. Did I lose my count on here? No, maybe not. We'll keep the fun going. Let's go ahead and clear. And then reopen the randomizer. If we haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz and you'd like to be my next opponent, !join. Type that in chat. Enter the randomizer. UXWU is in. I have the proper scene set up, and I do. Morbid Angel is in. Yeah, I think, okay, we should be on pace. We'll have this game and one more for people that haven't played yet, and then second chance opportunities with what will be the last 2 games of the broadcast. And somebody's going to win that Lakeland at rank 3 night vision territory. Last call for people that haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz. Be my next opponent. We got UXWU, Morbid Angel. And look, I don't know when we're going to get Game Reward XP. I waited as long as I could. But this game is so much fun that you can play it and play other people. A wonderful community with Warsaken. And we'll have fun with this. And once Game Reward XP hits, we'll have even more fun. There are going to be tournaments. I regretted not being able to take part in the one that Marklar. Shout out to Marklar for setting up that tournament. There's a lot with NFtopia from over the weekend. People had a lot of fun with it. I couldn't really participate. A lot of irons in the fire right now. We go ahead and close the door. We're going to give it a spin. One of you two will be my next opponent here on NashvilleLou Live. And it lands on 1, so congratulations. UXOOU. Randomizer has chosen you. So if you could please, UXOOU, provide me the connect code. We'll get this next game started here. Just a moment. Oh, I already got the code ready to go. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Good luck. Have fun. All right. Well, I do have the slate pulled up, so I'll a quick switch on this other screen. Got multiple computers in use here. All right. So I'll bring the slate down. I'll type in the connect code from UXOOU. Looking to join Zeal and Claw and Moon. People have beaten me today in Warsaken Blitz. Chance to win the grand prize, that rank 3 night vision. And for the other winners, it'll be Warsaken, a super rare camo card. Dog deck. Here we go. I love that. Czar Cyrus.
Warsaken.
So here we go, taking on UXOOU and Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou Live. I'll be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1800 UTC start time, just like today. All right. You know, I say when I want a pair of cards at least that I can work with initially. I'm happy with that. So I've got 3. Keep. And I get to go first. The game randomly chooses one of the 2 players to go first. It chose me. And here we go. 3. Well, fairly straightforward. Lucas Campbell, Farmer. It's a force match. Remember, it's the categories that matter in Warsaken Blitz. The same that if I had a force match with like a G1 Foxbuster, a big tank. The Farmer. Got that Thermal Ash Porta Carmasani. See where it says 10. I mean, only 10 of these exist. I try to point these things out because really cool cards that people in the Warsaken Legion have. Well, that's it for the turn. Rule of 1 for my opponent. Here's my tenant card, Fermi Energy Plants. I only have 1 tenant card. I don't have any owner cards, but maybe I'll have some RNG finally go my way with the some of those Warsaken loot packs. We'll see about that. I've pulled some pretty cool cards, so I can't complain. But it'd be real nice. Those owner cards are hard to come by. I put the word out in the Warsaken trading section of the Warsaken Discord. There aren't that many people even want to even talk about a potential sale of an owner card. Supply and demand. That 100,000 loot per day, that's a tall ask for somebody to give that up, even though it's a future utility and what they're going to have with Game Reward XP that really interests me, but we'll have some options. Okay, so we'll play an intel match here. If you're going to force your opponent to discard, the earlier the better, so let's do it now. Clever Hijack, intel. That could bounce the 1 card out there. That would be a very poor use of it. I can mill 6 cards from my opponent's arsenal to their discard pile, but really the move here, enemy discard 3, and that will happen when my turn is finished. Or if I have an extra turn, whenever that's done. Whenever the die goes back over to my opponent. Taking on UXOOU. Kind of a weird spot here. 1 action to go for the turn and nothing that I really... I mean, I could play that 1-off weather. Okay, I'll do it. Shattered Ground. Earthquake. This is the... Sometimes I talk about the different card varieties. I always get to explain them. This is the Foil Prime. I talk about that. This is Foil Prime. Shattered Ground. Now the Force Discard. 8 cards in hand. 3 have to get discarded here by UXWOU. We get to see what gets voted out in what order. So force, a weather, and a weather. Roll of 5. Now I can already tell that there was at least some force in my opponent's deck, given what was played there in that first hand, that first round. But you never know for sure, so it's worth taking a look. If you're going to make your opponent discard, at least, even if you don't, not doing it for the chuckles of it, but from an information standpoint, I mean, it's worth noting. You can look at your own discard pile, and you can look at your opponent's discard pile as well. In more traditional card gaming settings, reaching across the table, looking at your opponent's discard pile might get you some harsh words, if not more. But again, this is the nice thing with a game like this. You can do it. All right, so a WMD out there. That means business. My turn. 6. All right, play a second weather card here, Shattered Ground, of anything that makes a match. 3 spots open in my war zone. 5 actions to go for the turn. Crypto Gamer says, nice roll, thank you. Unfortunately, it's a dog deck. Let's get Stone ready to go. Pair of weather cards, pair of force cards. 2 spots open in my war zone. 3 actions to go for the turn. Noting that pair of intel cards opposite me, I don't think putting 2 sets of 2 force out there would necessarily be the best course of action for me. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But sometimes in this game, as much as it pains me to do it at times, much as it feels wasteful, it's really just being tactical, being smart. If it's not there in my war zone, it can't get bounced. So, passing up these last 3 actions here to end the turn. Taking on UXWOU. After this game, we'll be going back to the randomizer. We're looking for people that haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz. Later this hour, we're giving away a Warsaken foil prime card in chat. Have that posted, that link, toward the end of the hourly break. A couple of second chance opportunities. And then the prize round to wrap things up. Probably not too long past 5 p.m. Eastern time. 1 action here for the turn. So I could play one of these. But again, I'm acutely aware of the pair of intel cards opposite me. Sometimes having intel cards out there will have a certain chilling effect as far as what your opponent does. But that doesn't necessarily help you, because sometimes you actually get your opponent to benefit their own self-interest by not putting cards out there as much. But not always. And it depends on what your approach is as well with the cards. Anyway, not going to use the action in the turn. Taking on UXWOU here in Warsaken Blitz. Let's roll a 5. Another thing with the force discard, I mean, that was starting the hand there, or this turn, with 6 cards. So yeah, roll a 5 is nice, but only 11 cards in hand. But we'll see. Is there a match out there for the intel? Is there a match for the force? There's building cards. And there's the antidote to having intel played against you. Getting stuff bounced, well, go bring back what was bounced, be my guess. See what's already out there now. It's a pretty straightforward choice. 2 actions to go for the turn. Special thanks to Carl Casey at Wipeout Audio, who makes much of the great background music I use here on NashvilleLou Live. Many thanks to Carl Casey for that. 1 action to go for the turn after the pullback there by UXWOU. Intel with Suit X. That ends the turn. My turn. 5. Weather. Blinding sandstorm. It's a weather match. I'll take an extra turn that I'll get in a moment here. 2 actions to go for the turn. We'll play Stone. Sick 'em. That force match eliminates the second territory for my opponent. For the Scrapyard S3-1035. Ask for it by name. Eliminate. Alright, 1 action to go for the turn. 3 spots open in my war zone. I don't want to put that out there in partial form. Field research intel. Extra turn. 3. Now, granted, if I would roll a 2 here, then it would have been perhaps regrettable, but then again, do I want to play this here? I don't know that I do. But I only have one each of the WMDs. Ooh. Kind of a tough spot to know what to do here. I could play a second intel and then like a pair of black dogs. I'm not going to put building cards out there. Like I'm not going to. I mean, the WMDs. I could just go and play the DX8, but then. Decisions. All right, let's do it. DX8, because those WMDs might never show up. Can't count on that for sure happening. In a given game of Warsaken Blitz. We'll need a third territory. Mount Obtanian. So UXWU's me down to 1. But that's it for my turn. So roll a 3. Weather match for UXWU means an extra turn. 1. In a given roll of a die in Warsaken Blitz, you get that many actions, that many cards drawn from your arsenal. 1 action there, force card out there. My turn. 5. So I can have a weather match, I can have an intel match, building match. If I were to go back, it'd be for weather, and I might do that. But if I play, let's see. For the intel, I will need 2 more of those, so I'll play. First things first, Shattered Ground, get the extra turn. 4 actions to go for this turn. Play Field Research, Intel Match. Bounce. Split up the 2 sets of 2. Striker. Detachment, which is a tremendous name, the big crowbar. Bounce. And then we'll bounce the A96 Night Hunter. Bounce. 2 actions to go for the turn. Play a pair of building cards with Sawyer's Garage. Extra turn. 5. Well, building card opportunities. So I can play a third Sawyer's Garage, go back for weather, and get an extra turn. So that's a possibility. I can go back for a force match. But I think I'd rather just go with that extra turn. All right, let's go back for weather. Sawyer's Garage. Blinding Sandstorm. Let's loop back around. Blinding Sandstorm, weather, extra turn. I need to get 2 force matches to get the win. Play a weather card here. Fire in the fields. So that'd be extra turn. It's weird, I got no soliciting sign up. I'm in the middle of a live broadcast and doorbell rings. Rolled a 3. So I can go fire in the fields, get an extra turn. I'll put one of these WMDs out there. That's. Sometimes you can wait, and then you have that force match in hand that you might need. Fire in the fields. Extra turn. White phosphorus ball. Extra turn. 1. Although at this point, I mean, if something happens to this white phosphorus bomb, I do have that other option. Plus, there's only one territory left up there anyway, so it's a limited effectiveness regardless. Second white phosphorus bomb, that ends my turn. Taking on UXWU. How many of each card type do I have? Well, the 15 sets of 4. It depends on the deck and how I might have it laid out in a given time. Typically, you're going to want 4 sets of 4 weather of those 15. You're really going to want that. I usually don't have morale in my decks for what I do with the live streaming. So I don't want to discourage people from using some of the more rare, but also higher morale ding, like -7 morale if it's taken out, that kind of territory. I don't want to discourage that too much. Maybe 2 sets of 4 WMDs, a couple of 2 sets of 4 building cards, 2 sets of, or maybe 3 sets with intel. Enough force with the rest, 2. So I can play the WMD match. This will give my opponent a compromised leader. There's that certain amount of mystery to it as well that some people don't want to live stream, so they don't necessarily show off what they have, but you can always switch it up. I'll play since the guard tower's here, play this. So if I roll it, if it doesn't get bounced, if it's still out there for my next turn, if I roll a 5 or 6, then I know for sure I'd get the win. So that's how I'll play this. That ends the turn. Taking on UXWU, rolls a 5. So 18 cards and 5 actions here. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live after this game. We'll be going back to the randomizer. There's a WMD match. This will eliminate 2 of my 3 remaining territories. I'll be down to 1. All I have left is my tenant. Grand closing time. Compromise leader for me. Next force match wins the game. Let's see. 6. Well, I'll get it here. But I really will have to go get it with the building cards. Look before you leap. I'll go get Stone with the dog deck, so might as well close it out with Stone. So I'll play a building card match here with Guard Tower. Return 3 to my hand. Stone. And now, 4 actions to go for the turn. Only need 3. Stone. Force. For the win. What a battle. All right, good game, UXWU. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. So much fun with you here. Somebody's going to win that Lakeland Oil Grounds, that rank 3 territory. Be somebody who's beat me here today live on stream. And thus far, the 2 people to do that are Zeal, Blonde Moon. So in just a moment here, let me get this ready. I'm going to go ahead and clear and then reopen the randomizer. I'm looking again for people I haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz. Exclamation point join. Type that in chat. So we'll have this next game. Then I'll have my hourly break. On the other side of that hourly break, I'll give away one more Warsaken Foil Prime. Card that will have the claim link posted in chat near the end of the break. Then a couple of games that'll be open to people that lost earlier, or new people for that matter, but just where it's open. I want people to have a reason to stick around and not be like, oh, if I play once and I'm out, then I'll have a chance later. I want to reward people for being in there early for me, because that's important at this point. Okay, so it would help if you could see the randomizer, wouldn't it? All right. So if we haven't played yet today in Warsaken Blitz, last call, exclamation mark join. Solkanar, got Morbid Angel in there. Rexinator is in. So this will be at least a 3-person spin. We'll be closing the door here in just a moment. Close the door, give it a spin. One of you three will be my next opponent here on NashvilleLou Live. Lands on 3. Congratulations, Rexinator. Randomizer has chosen you. Rex and I have had some battles. We haven't played in a while, but way back when in 2023. Last year we had, especially in some tournaments, we had just like back and forth battles in the finals, and it's always a good battle when I take on Rexy. Some very talented people in the Legion. So much fun playing Warsaken Blitz. So Rexy, if you could please get me a connect code. We'll get this next game started here shortly. See there that Lakeland Oil Grounds. Got that as the card, as the show-off card for the slate today. All right, got the code. Thank you. Look, have fun. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. Man, I love playing this game. All right, so Rexy's saying, we'll see if I remember still how to play. I think it'll come back to you pretty fast. Pretty sharp play there, Rexy. It's been a while. Oh, ring rust. No, it's, you're still gonna be a formidable competitor. I don't doubt that. Night vision.
Warsaken.
So here we go, taking on Rexinator. So to this point, I've lost today to Zeal. I lost to Claw and Moon, also known as Justin. So those two are in the mix at the moment. Rexinator, with a victory, would also be in the mix to potentially win that rank 3 night vision card. Lakeland territory card. Pair of weather cards. I'll keep that. So the plan with the broadcast, well, this game here with Rexy, we just rolled a 5 to start things off. I'll take my last break of the broadcast after that. On the backside of that break, we'll have one more of those Warsaken foil prime cards that we'll give away in chat. Then we'll have 2 more games, and that'll be open to people that have played me earlier and lost. Second chance opportunity, open as well to people that haven't played yet. So, pair of weather cards, pair of force cards, standalone weather. My turn. 6. Well, at least it's a wide open war zone, so I've got some options. It's tough when you roll a 6 and you've already got a lot out there and nothing matches, and it's like, oh, not good times when that happens. With this, we'll make it work. Freezing rainstorm, weather cards. 3 spots are open in my war zone. 4 actions to go for the turn. You get that half second of false hope you get sometimes with these night vision decks. Although it's actually far worse, at least in my opinion, with the camo. That really gives you the false hope. But no false hope here. A pair of cards, force cards with a B6 Rabid Beast. Now, 2 spots open in my war zone. 2 actions to go for the turn. But I really don't have any viable options for putting 2 WMDs out there at this point, just asking for trouble, at least in my opinion. So, again, that's why I do it. I explain this so people understand why I'm doing it. New people that are new to Warsaken Blitz, try and give an idea of how I'm playing and why, with a thought process in the turn. And I emphasize this for new players. If you want a tip, pro tip, don't feel obligated to use all of your actions in a given turn. See right there, Rexy didn't use any, and maybe that'll work out. My turn. 1. So I could play a Barracuda here, another force card. But then if Rexy's sitting on intel, then it's boom, boom, boom. Splitting up those pairs. Then I've got multiple force card that possibly could be matches. Cards that are split up with some out there and then some in my discard pile. If it happens with one, that's one thing. If it happens with multiple, that's where trouble starts to set in. At least from what I found. So I'll pass up the action in the turn. Now the flip side is if I'm playing it too conservatively, let's say next turn I roll a 2. If I had a Barracuda out there, if one of those 2 cards gained from that roll is another Barracuda, then that's a force match that would happen that I wouldn't be able to do here by playing it that conservatively. Meanwhile, I'm giving you the every scenario thing here in Rexinator. For the weather match, we'll have an extra turn after this. A pair of building cards. Get that weather train going, that cascade of weathers. Rexy, that's when Rexy's really at his toughest, when he's pulling those off. It's like, uh-oh. Again, you're capped at how many sets of 4 weather you can have in your arsenal. But if you make judicious use of building cards, you can sometimes really get it going with the weather. So something to be aware of. My turn. 6. All right, well, for all that talk of the Barracuda, we'll be able to play it here, have a force match. So the force match eliminates one of my opponent's 4 territories. All right, 3 actions to go for the turn. Nothing else, pardon me, makes a match. But with that 3rd spot open in my war zone, I have my druthers on this. A pair of weather cards. That's where I want to go with this more often than not. When I don't have a 3rd that I'm ready to play right away, especially. 2 sets of 2 weather, pair of force cards. Pass up that last action in the turn. Rexy with 17 cards, but a roll of 1. But is there a 3rd blinding sandstorm? That can mean an extra turn. A 3rd building card, going back for the weather. No play. My turn. 1. But that 1 will be a match for me here. Is a 3rd B6 Rabid Beast Force. Navy Destroyer. So this will eliminate a 2nd territory for Rexy. We'll be down to 2. That's it for the turn. Taking on Rexinator, who rolls a 2. Tough rolls for Rex. He's got 20 cards. And the question is there a 3rd blinding sandstorm? So that can mean an extra turn. Otherwise, and it could be a building match, could be a force match, but no play. But Rexy, this is, if I don't do something severe right here as far as knocking those cards out or doing something, this could take a quick turn against me. As much as it looks strong, there's a roll of 6. On the weather match, really was hoping a WMD was going to drop in there, but sometimes that never happens. Sometimes you wait and it's hiding in there. All right, Tranquil Sunlight, weather. Extra turn. 5 actions to go for this turn. I can go 2 and 2 with the weather. So probably what I'll do. Geomagnetic disturbance, 2 of those. So it's going to be 3 wide and 2 deep, and it's all weather. Volcanic eruption. And remember, there's individual details with each one, but for the purposes of Warsaken Blitz, it's the category that matters when you're making a match, not the specifics on the card themselves, the cards that you have in your arsenal. And the simplified version of Warsaken, it's easy to learn. So, okay, all that with 1 action I could use, but won't. Pass up the action here to end the turn. Now the extra turn. 6, oh my goodness. Well, eventually I finally did get that WMD match. I won't get the win here necessarily because I don't have a force match in hand. But I will get an extra turn with the volcanic eruption. All right, white phosphorus bomb, WMD match. This will eliminate the final 2 territories for Rexinator and give Rexy a compromised leader.
Compromised.
All right. So we'll go weather. Extra turn. I'll still have 2 actions to go for this turn. 2 spots open. I think I'll play a pair of... Well, I could go building cards where if I rolled like a 4 and I got at least 1 more of them, then I could get the win. But then No, oh no, that's not the play at all. Intel. Assassination attempt. 2 of those, just because I'm staring down up there. Now the extra turn. 1. Weather. So we'll get another extra turn. Freezing rainstorm. Plus 1 turn. Will this do it? 1. But look at that, it's the assassination attempt. Let's bounce. I love building cards getting bounced on my opponent's side. Love to bounce my opponent's building cards. So Clan Temple. Force match. The lockdown. Blinding sandstorm. Bounce. That's it for the turn. But Rexy's got 20 cards in hand. Rexy's had some really tough RNG with the rolls last few turns here. And yet there's 2 more blinding sandstorms that were drawn than... Luckily, that's not going to be the case. A pair of WMDs out there. If I can get a force match here, I can get the win. 6. Well, it'll work. Let's get fueled up. TXR aerial refueler for the win. All right. All right, good game, Rexy. You had some really tough draws there with those rolls. All right, Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. You never know what to expect in a given game of Warsaken Blitz. This is at Lakeland Oil Grounds. The grand prize for today. It'll be somebody who has beat me here live on stream who's going to win it. And thus far, the only people to beat me here today have been Zeal and Claude Moon, Justin. So, note here that I got the victory over Rexy. But we'll have 2 more games to go after this one. So I'm going to take my last break of the broadcast now. If you want to stick around, so I'll have a Warsaken Foil Prime card prize that I'll give away in chat toward the end of the break. Then we'll have 2 more games. It'll be open to people that played me earlier and lost, second chance opportunities, and open to everybody else as well that hasn't played me yet today. So we'll have that to look forward to here in just a few minutes. Remember, you're earning, potentially at least, earning loot from Warbot if you have your Wax wallet linked and you're participating in chat. And people like me, official Warsaken streamers to be specific. People like me. Wonderful people in the Warsaken community. When we're live here on Twitch, you have your linked Wax wallet and you're participating in chat. And there's a certain mystery. You have a certain reference for Warbot. Great generosity from Warsaken. Tremendous. Greatly appreciated. Back in just a few minutes with the last 2 games of the broadcast. Somebody's going to get that rank 3 night vision card. We'll find out soon enough who that will be. Back in a few. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. Stay tuned. All right, coming back from break. Posted the link in chat for the Warsaken Foil Prime card prize hourly giveaway. First person to click on the claim link within the link posted there wins the prize. So good luck to whoever the winner ends up being for that. There's the Lakeland Oil Grounds Territory card. Night Vision version right there. It's quite the thing to say, the Vision version. But this is going to be the grand prize that somebody will win today. We'll go to the prize around at the end of the broadcast. So that's something to... Right now, only 2 people have beaten me today, so it'll be either one of those 2 or somebody to play me here in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead now and clear and then reopen the randomizer. So I'm looking for people that I either haven't played yet today or that played me earlier and beat me. Or, excuse me, that I beat. So people looking for a second chance to play. Who's going to join the list for today, along with Zeal and Claw and Moon? Justin. Those are the 2 thus far that are in there for the Lakeland Oil Grounds and the Slate Down. So... for everyone else, I have this game and one more. It's exclamation mark join. Be my next opponent. It's available. Even if we played earlier and I beat you, now's your chance to get some revenge. Morbid Angel in there. I know Morbid Angel's been waiting for a chance to play. Last call. Come on. Did I win the card yet? We'll have the prize round at the end of the broadcast. But right now it's down. I mean, it's only 2 people in the mix at the moment. It's going to be either, as it stands now, it'd be either Zeal or you, Justin. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the door. Morbid Angel. You'll be my next opponent. You could potentially join the list. So if you could, please, Morbid Angel, provide me with a connect code. We'll get this next game started here shortly. And we'll have one more game after this one that'll be open to people that played earlier and lost, and to everyone else for that matter. So I'll say ready if you have a connect code. And for the other winners today, they'll win a Warsaken, a super rare camo card prize. We'll get the connect code here in just a moment. Hello to Brazen Blake. Greetings and welcome. Hello to everybody. If I miss anybody in chat, try to emphasize that it's not intentional. A lot for me to keep track of here. The one-man broadcast machine. Try and greet everybody and say hey. Now, some people can play, some can't, but the great thing with this is that you can watch. Some people have jobs, especially if you work remotely. Don't get in trouble. Now, don't get yourself fired. Don't do anything driving-wise, but If you've got a gig where you can listen while you work and you have I'm not one to tell anybody about a normal work schedule after years of working overnights and TV news. When my normal was 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., it kind of gave me a different outlook. Got the connect code from Morbid Angel. Thank you. Thank you. Good luck. Have fun. I'll type in on the other keyboard.
Warsaken.
All right, so here we go. Taking on Morbid Angel. We actually hit the chat button, so I'll say thank you, good luck, have fun there in chat. Taking on Morbid Angel and Warsaken Blitz. We'll have one more game after this one. Then we'll go to the prize round. We're going to find out who's going to win that rank 3 night vision territory card, that Lakeland card. All right, pair of weather cards. Keep. So the game chooses one of the two players to go first, and it shows in Morbid Angel. It's been fun playing with a lot of people, including last week as well. And as much as I wanted to wait for Game Reward XP, it was go time here to get this going again with Warsaken in this 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern slot, 18 to 21 UTC. Although I have to pin it to the Eastern time zone, so when it's daylight time, it's different UTC versus standard because we have to change time. You know how that goes. 2 sets of 2 forced right away. A lot of force staring me down from Morbid Angel. My turn, roll a 5. Well, you like weather cards. Options. Pair of weather cards with freezing rainstorm. And again, for the purposes of Blitz, this is the simplified version of Warsaken. Tranquil Sunlight and Earthquake, if you got 3 of them, they do the same thing within Blitz. Tranquil Sunlight. I'll go ahead and play one of those Shattered Ground weather. I will be aggressive when it comes to weather cards like this. This is where I think it's worthwhile. If it gets bounced, it's unfortunate. Roll of 2. But you've seen how many times here, just in the last run of broadcasts that I've had, where I've been able to bail myself out if I roll a 1 or a 2 and have a weather card that gives me an extra turn, that can make all the difference. Meanwhile, pair of force cards and a pair of intel cards. Intel's a concern because I can bounce cards from my war zone. You can never presume that your opponent does or doesn't have any given cards. All they have to do, you can have an opponent that you think will never have intel, then they switch it up. Okay, nothing makes a match. I'll play a second Shattered Ground. So all this weather out there, I'm not going to put anything in that 4th spot in my war zone, so I'll pass up those last 2 actions in the turn. Taking on Morbid Angel. Warsaken Blitz. Morbid Angel, roll a 6. We'll have one more game after this one. It'll be open to people I haven't played and people that played earlier and beat. Second chance opportunity. There's a force match. So I'm down to 3 territories. 5 actions to go for the turn for Morbid Angel. Two sets of 2 force cards and a pair of intel cards. That ends the turn. My turn. 4. All right. So I'll have a weather match here with freezing rainstorm. Icy. Extra turn. Still have 3 actions to go for this turn. With Private Wolfric Hoffman, force. So this will eliminate one of my opponent's 4 territories. Extra turn. 2. Okay. Well, 2 spots open in my war zone. Pair of assassination attempt intel cards. That will end my turn. Morbid Angel with a roll of 2. So unmute my microphone. Pair of weather cards play there with Tsunami by Morbid Angel. 4 wide and 2 deep, but it's my turn. 3. Ooh. Nothing makes a match. So I'm going to pass it to 3 actions and end the turn. Morbid Angel with a roll of 4. $15 cards, 4 actions. Pull back. Wow, pull at least one. Both of those force cards being pulled back. Frees up some space. 2 actions to go for the turn. Very interesting. My turn. 4. I think what you saw right there is the counter argument to some people that would play more aggressively. Say, okay, well, if it didn't work out, then so be it. We'll pull it back. If it had, then you get to happen. You have extra actions and you wouldn't have had otherwise. From already having those cards out there. It's part of the appeal of having them out there. You can only have like a roll of 1, especially. You got a pair of weather cards and you can get that extra turn. It helps, but it also helps if you need to just like get an intel match and you roll a 1. Weather. Extra turn. 1 action to go for the turn. This turn. Pass it up in turn. Extra turn. 5. Okay. Force match. Got a lot of cards. Sergeant Taven Reed. Force. Soldier. Heavy. So this force match eliminates the 2nd territory for my opponent. Thermal Ash Golden Farmlands. Okay. This is wild. It really doesn't make sense because how do I know what I'm going to get this next turn? If there is a next turn, you never know for sure in this game. But I mean, a lot of cards, but I really think the best move is to keep it open there. So I won't play anything. I'll leave it as is. Pass up the actions in the turn. Taking on Morbid Angel. Rolls a 3. We'll have one more game after this one. Open to people that haven't played me yet or that played me earlier and lost. A second chance opportunity. There's Agent Nika Devin, the sneaky one. A force match. Snuck her way across my Golden Farmlands. All's fair in turnaround, right? Have the Thermal Ash version, but mine is now gone. All the same. Both down to 2 territories. My turn. 3. Weather match. Shattered Ground will be an extra turn. I can play a pair of intel cards. And with the extra turn, even if I roll a 1, I can play that 3rd intel and then bounce 1 each of those 3 sets of 2 out there. Start with the weather. Shattered Ground. Earthquake. Extra turn. 2 spots open in my war zone. 2 actions to go for this turn, so we'll play a pair of exploited design flaws, intel cards. Extra turn. 1. I mean, that's explained why I did it that way, and then sure enough, there's the 1. And I'll play this 3rd exploited design flaw, intel. Let's bounce. Split up to 3 sets of 2. Force, bounce. Intel. Bounce. Weather. Made a tsunami hit me. Bounce. That's it for my turn. Taking on Morbid Angel. We'll have one more game after this one, then we'll go to the prize round. Find out who today's big winner is. He's going to win that rank 4 night vision card. That roll of 4 means 21 cards and 4 actions. Now, granted, I just played that intel to bounce cards from my opponent's Warzone to the discard pile. There's a force match that'll have me down to 1 territory remaining. All I have left is my 24 karat gold treasury department. Not the high yield. 1 action to go for the turn. A second intel card. And if I hadn't played that intel match on my last turn, then all other things being equal, that's 3. I have a lot of stuff getting bounced. Instead, it's my turn. 5. All right. Got a WMD match, so I'll give my opponent a compromise leader. I'll be 1 action shy. What I need here, but I do have that intel match I can play. Keep on bouncing. So that's how we'll play it. Tactical Nuke, WMD. That WMD match will eliminate my opponent's final 2 territories. A force match would win it for me. However, I don't have enough actions to play 3 force cards with only 2 actions remaining for the turn, so instead, play Intel Assassination Attempt. Bounce. Force. That second secret drone mission. Bounce. Flip the second pair of those. And then the other tsunami. Bounce. 1 action to go for the turn. Too risky to put it out there, I think. So instead, play an X-32 Zero Force. That's it for my turn. So roll of 3 for Morbid Angel. 20 cards and 3 actions. A weather match can mean an extra turn. A force match will give me a compromised leader. There's a force match. Sure enough, that's going to give me a compromised leader. So essentially what we're looking at right here, the next force match wins the game and it's my turn. Can I roll a 3 or higher? 3. So I had enough to win it with the Wolf, but we'll go with the X-32 Zero for the win. All right. All right, good game, Morbid Angel. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live, approaching close to top of the hour, nearly 5 p.m. Eastern, not quite yet. Bring the slate up. That Lakeland Oil Grounds, that's the grand prize for today. I lost to Zeal and I lost to Justin, Claw and Moon. So I've taken 2 losses today, so one of those 2, as it stands now, will win it. Or if somebody beats me here in this next and will be the last game of the broadcast, they'd have a chance as well. And then for those who don't get the grand prize, they'll win a Warsaken, a super rare camo card. I'll be sending those out from my Fulfillments wallet shortly after the broadcast. So let's go ahead now. This is going to be open for people that I'm not looking to play necessarily back-to-back, but other than that, let me clear and then open for second chance opportunities from earlier in the show. Also, people haven't played me yet. Last chance of the broadcast to play me. !join. Type that in chat. I'd like to enter the randomizer. !join. Valkyria is in. And who knows, maybe we'll book into the broadcast. Valkyria is my first opponent. Could be my last. We'll see. For today. CBN Live is in as well. We also played earlier. !join. Last call on that as we hit 5 p.m. Eastern. A quick reset. This is NashvilleLou Live with a fun new card strategy game, Warsaken Blitz. Playing here live on stream. Somebody's going to win that rank 3 night vision card. Looks like this may be a 2-person spin. Go ahead and close the door. We'll give it a spin. One of you two will be my final opponent of the broadcast. It lands on 1. So congratulations, Valkyria. It will be the bookend. We started things off here roughly 3 hours ago, and now it doesn't feel like 3 hours ago. Time flies when I stream this game. In the best of ways. So much fun. Wonderful people in the Warsaken community. So congratulations on being selected there, Valkyria, by the randomizer. So if you could please provide me with a connect code. We'll get this game started here shortly. Lakeland Oil Grounds, you see it right there, that night vision card. So it'll be either Zeal or Justin Clawmoon, or it could be Valkyria with a victory here. At the connect code, thank you. Yes, good luck, have fun. And remember, Warbot is giving out loot. People with linked Wax wallets who are just participating in chat and watching official Warsaken streamers like me. We're live here, and I'll be back live tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1800 UTC. Be episode 88 of Warsaken Blitz. Go one more time with Dog Deck. Dog Deck. Hard to go wrong with the dogs. And here we go.
Warsaken.
All right, taking on Valkyria. After this, we'll be going to the prize round. Funny enough, I had an inkling to double check my notes, and I didn't copy over the wallet information for Valkyrie to my list of regulars. It's an oversight that's now corrected. All right, pair of weather cards. Keep. Don't be too picky when it comes to your starting 8 in Warsaken Blitz. This is the base entrance game mat that I'm using with this deck. Valkyria with the battle title of Queen. With this deck today for mine, pull down the overlay. Well, I can't really see it, it's dark, but it says Savage Beast. This being the dog deck and all. Seemed fitting. My turn. 3. There it is. And see that blue dot? You see that above your avatar. That way, you quickly look and see, oh, it's your turn. It's more helpful than at first I thought, okay, that's nice and all, but it actually does help. Although, for the purposes of the broadcast, my overlay, my logo has to go somewhere, so that's where it goes. Blinding Sandstorm, weather. 3 spots open in my war zone. 1 action to go for the turn. Intel. Field research. That's it for the turn. Roll of 6 for Valkyria. Go Valky Go, says CBN live in chat. People cheering on Valkyria. There's a weather match. That'll mean an extra turn. A morale match. Now, this is interesting. See, your morale is shown on your shield. Mine's at 20. That morale match drops me to 14. 4 actions to go for this turn. 12 cards for Valkyria. If your morale hit 0, it's like if your territories are all eliminated or if your arsenal hit 0 cards. Any of those 3 things happen, at that point you got to compromise the leader. There's a force match. Dog versus dog. Having the dog deck here, and Valkyria with stone. That force match will eliminate one of my 4 territories. Golden Farmlands, -4 morale. Drops me from 14 down to 10. 1 action to go for the turn. And I see opportunities for just a little on down the line when things are really up and going with Game Reward XP. When we get people that are new to the game or new to streaming, or I'll have opportunities when it hits to the other side of 5 p.m. Eastern, I'm looking to raid somewhere. There's somebody that's, especially the streamers that are new to it, maybe they don't have that many followers, do a big run-in with people looking to play Warsaken Blitz. All sorts of potential, all sorts of possibilities. So 1 action here for my opponent. Morale. My turn. My morale's down to 10. 2 more morale matches would give me a compromised leader. Roll to 5. But nothing makes a match. Play a second field research intel. So I have a pair of weather cards and a pair of intel cards. 2 spots open in my war zone. 4 actions to go for the turn. Play some more weather, shattered ground, earthquake. 2 of those. 2 sets of 2 weather. And a pair of intel cards. I have 1 spot open in my war zone. But I'm going to leave it open. Pass up those 2 actions. And end the turn. And there will be some real-life stuff that will inevitably come up, so I can't, and especially with broadcasting gigs, who knows. But in general, my plan is to have 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, weekdays. That's going to be my go-to slot. And, of course, there'll be tournaments, and there'll be some stuff that will overlap and all, but in general, that's what I'm going for. That's the plan. Pair of morale cards with 1 action to go for the turn for Valkyria. I'm down to 10 morale. If that hits 0, I'll have a compromised leader. Rusty. Force card. That ends the turn. My turn. 3. Wow, nothing matches. Okay, I'm going to do a pullback on the 2 field research intel cards. A pair of weather cards. I only play 1 of them, though, to end the turn, but I'll still go ahead and do this nonetheless. Ideal conditions. It's a roll of 6 for Valkyria, so 14 cards and 6 actions. I'm down to 3 territories. I have 10 morale. This is -4 morale. This one gets taken out. That would drop me to 6. So a force match and a morale match could give me a compromised leader. Could take out the Port of Commersani, which is only -3. You see, the fact that I have a -4 in here versus that was a -3, it would be different, but it's not different. There's a morale match. It's going to drop me down to 4. That's the number on your shield. It's your morale. So another morale match would give me a compromised leader. A force match, if it eliminated the remaining territory I have that has a -4, that would give me a compromised leader. A WMD match would as well. See, I'm down to 4. 3 actions to go for the turn. Taking on Valkyria, we'll be going to the prize round after this. Find out who today's big winner is. As it is now, it's going to be only two people vying. Two people got the wins over me earlier, but Valkyria can get a win. I got a three-person final. Because it was Brotherland Fields, I have one morale left. If Valkyria had taken out the Fermi energy plants, it would have given me a compromised leader. Wow, I caught a break there. It was -3 or -3 with the other two. Just the port. Now, if Valkyria has a third morale to play here, I'll have a compromised leader. But if not, then... Now, there's also the possibility that Valkyria might not have a force match in hand. I don't know kind of a deck layout we're talking about here. So, but anyway, if you're going to be playing morale based, definitely make sure the territories you go for, because you can look at the different ones before you choose them. Choose which one you want to eliminate. But it can make a difference. Also, here's yet another reminder why you, as much as possible when you're building, especially for new players, when you're building a Warsaken Blitz deck, go for those territories that only have a -3 morale if they get eliminated in Blitz. That will work to your advantage. 4. All right. Lucas Campbell, Farmer, Force. This Force match will eliminate one of my opponent's 4 territories. Take out Clementine Meyer. One action to go for the turn. Well, I could put that out there, one of them. I think the smarter play for me is to play a second ideal conditions, weather. So if I roll a 1 for the next turn and then one of those weather cards hits, then I have some options. That's it for the turn. And yet there may not be another turn for me. Roll of 2. I was lucky that Valkyria did not take out Fermi energy plants, because that would have me with a compromised leader right now. Part of why I had this in here is just because soon it just won't make sense to use tenant or owner cards. Not that I have any owner cards, but for those that do, using them in game when Game Reward XP goes live, just because that doesn't quite have the appeal is not for its XP or Game Reward XP. But until that happens, it's still fun to use. So got it in there for now. 2 actions to go for the turn. Again, 1 morale at blinking red, that pulsating red, 1. The shield. Second force card with a DX8. 1 action to go for the turn. After this game, we'll be going to the prize round. Find out who today's big winner is. Is getting that rank 3 night vision, that Lakeland territory card. Weather card. My turn. 2. Wow. You know what? I'll do it. Clever hijack. Play that 4th spot in my war zone. Desperate times. That's it for the turn. I have 1 morale left. A force match or a morale match would give me a compromise later. Roll 3. So Valkyria has a morale match to match what's out there. That would give me a compromise leader. If there's then a DX8, that would be the force match to eliminate what would then be a compromise leader and win the game. With 11 cards and 3 actions, I don't know. A weather match could mean an extra turn. So many possibilities here. And there's a certain unpredictability to any given game of Warsaken Blitz. Keeps it interesting. Second weather card with a freezing rainstorm. 2 actions to go for the turn. Two actions to go for the turn. That's it for the turn. My turn. 4. All right. Clever hijack. Intel. Let's bounce. Split these 3 sets of 2. Morale. Inspire the troops. Bounce. DX8. Bounce. Freezing rainstorm. Bounce. 1 morale left. 3 actions to go for the turn. Rusty. Sick 'em. That force match eliminates the second territory for my opponent. So Valkyrie is down to 2 territories remaining, just like me, but that's it for my turn. I mean, the bigger concern, though, is that I have 1 morale left. Rule of 4. $14 cards and 4 actions here for Valkyria. Right now, I mean, it was such a pivotal move that it was not the Fermi energy plants that ended up being eliminated. It was the one with a -3 morale, not the -4. And that's the difference between 1 and 0. And 1 morale versus 0 in this game is a huge difference. Sometimes they can make all the difference. 2 actions to go for the turn. A pair of WMDs out there. That would certainly give me a compromise later. Taking on Valkyria. After this game, we'll be going to the prize round. A pullback. So weather removed, and there's a morale card. There's some. I have 1 morale left. Morale match would give me a compromised leader. It's my turn. 2. All right, so I've got a weather match. It's shattered ground. Extra turn. 2 spots open in my war zone. Play weather, fire in the fields. Now the extra turn. 6. Can I get a WMD match? I sure can, and I'm going to get the win right here, it looks like, if I do it right. White phosphorus bomb, WMD match. This will give my opponent a compromise later. WMD match eliminates those last 2 territories. Stone for the win. All right, good game, Valkyria. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. Bring the slate back up for a moment. We get ready for the prize round. Unusual for me to go 8-2 like I have the past 2 days. And that doesn't mean, oh, I've picked my game up or whatever. It just means I've had a lot of things go my way. Caught a lot of breaks. So I imagine I'll be due for some losses here. So keep that in mind when I'm back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1800 UTC start time, just like today. I've got the schedule in for the rest of the week here. That same start time lined up. All right, so prepare the prize round screen. So it's pretty straightforward. I lost to Zeal, and I lost to Justin, Claw and Moon. So one of those two is going to be the winner of that Lakeland Oil Grounds. You see it right there on screen. At night vision, it's a rank 3 card in Warsaken. Bring down the slate. All right, so the way I'm doing it with this is I lost to Zeal, then lost to Claw and Moon. I lost to Zeal first, so we do this first spin. In this case, we'll just have the one spin, because either be Zeal gets it here, or Zeal gets that camo ST-22 tanker, and then the night vision Lakeland Oil Grounds territory card would go to Justin, to Claw and Moon. So here we go. Let's see what Zeal wins. Good luck. So Zeal's going to get that camo ST-22 tanker, which means Justin, congratulations. Claw and Moon gets that night vision Lakeland Oil Grounds card. Note that here. I'll make sure as well. Note for Zeal. Beat me earlier in the broadcast. Zeal will get this camo ST-22 tanker. Sending that prize out here shortly after the conclusion of this broadcast. So congratulations, Claw and Moon. Justin, you don't have to spin it here. It's the only one left up there. Just the two we had today, 2 winners. So a nice grand prize there. Thanks to everybody for taking the time to watch and to play. We're going to get there hopefully soon with Game Reward XP. I don't have any sort of special inside info, but I knew that I had to get things going with this weekly show, this weekday show. This 5 times weekly, the idea being. And there will be tournaments that are going to overlap and cause some scheduling conflicts. Real life scheduling stuff's going to inevitably creep up as well, so we'll have that to contend with. But I'll communicate as well as I can to let people know on that, because I plan on playing this game and streaming this game a lot. And until we get to the point of having Game Reward XP, we're going to have fun here live on stream. We'll come up with some sort of a cool grand prize for tomorrow to have that. Congratulations to Justin, to Claw and Moon, today's big winner. Hearing thunder rumbling in the distance here. My home here in the Nashville area, so maybe perfect timing for me to go ahead and be ready to wind things down with the broadcast. But we'll have more games, more opportunities to win tomorrow. 2 p.m. Eastern, 1800 UTC start time, right here with NashvilleLou live. That should be a lot of fun. Speaking of weather, looks like Agenda Free TV is covering U.S. tornado outbreak. Let me go see what Steve Lookner has going over there. He's like I'm the one-man broadcast machine here with this. He's like that, only he has like live video from across the country, across the world as need be. It's a different take on covering breaking news, breaking weather, etc. It's interesting, it's fun. Sometimes not so fun depending on the topic, but it's well done. Anyway, so that's going to do it for this broadcast of NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. Thanks for watching. Remember, watch tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1800 UTC, episode 88 of Warsaken Blitz. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.